Good.
Okay, good. Welcome to episode 193. Nate, can we hear you? We didn't even test you because Nate, are you there?
You should be able to.
Okay, good. We can hear Nate. We're good to go. Episode 193. Our guest tonight is Omni. Omni, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on board. It's my first podcast, too.
First podcast.
So, yeah, you guys
popped
my podcast cherry, bro, finally.
Good way to get you started here. Good way. That's good.
We apologize in advance.
I want to make you feel uncomfortable, Omni. Did you know, Omni?
I was hoping that you would. That usually breaks the ice for me. I'm a shy guy, and once you make me uncomfortable, that's when I...
Let me break the ice. I want to apologize to you, bro, because I met you one time. You probably don't remember, but I met you one time, and it was at E3, and I wanted to take a picture with Nairo, PK Sparks, and Nakat, and I asked you to hold the camera. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean it like that.
I vaguely remember that embarrassing moment. There was a lot of embarrassing moments at E3, though, but that was some good times.
No, it was fun. It was fun. Thank you for taking the picture. I just want to say that.
No problem.
You don't remember because it was fat me. I was very fat in that video.
I barely remember being at E3 in the first place. I feel like with this whole COVID stuff, bro, we've been indoors so long. I forget what it's like to be around other people. And
it seems like
that was another life.
Yeah. I think it was like E3 2016. E3 2016.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was some really good times. Definitely missed those. But yeah, guys, thanks for having me on board. You guys were talking a lot about Cyberpunk just beforehand, and again, I was just saying, like, I haven't gotten Cyberpunk yet, but I'm really looking forward to playing it because all I hear about the bugs, and I think everyone's kind of trolling, but at the same time, I think everyone's enjoying themselves as well. So that's really cool.
Well, there's also some question around the way CD Projekt Red handled some of the current versions of the game. We'll go over some of the controversy with that because that is actually pretty interesting, I would say. And then we have Miss Click joining us tonight. How you doing?
Hello, doing well. How are you guys tonight?
Good to have you on. Good. You did start up Cyberpunk, so you played a bit of that.
I did.
So okay, very good. Then we have Nate. Nate, we tested you before. Okay,
yeah.
Nate. Okay. Yeah. All right, there he is. All right.
I'm playing a game at the same time, so.
Is it Cyberpunk?
No.
Oh.
Classic Nate, dude.
You already knew it wasn't.
No.
It's fine.
Which indie game is it, Nate?
Yeah.
It is an indie game, and it's a good game, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
I'm not going to play something on my TV during the Spawncast.
Oh, yeah. See, Nate's respectful. He just plays video games on his Switch when he's on the Spawncast.
Hey, it's better than Sean that you see on camera playing Switch during the Spawncast.
It'll just look like all the way over here the whole time.
He does his thumbnail when he's on the Spawncast. He's just like thumbnails right there.
We have OJ. What's going on, Player Essence?
What's up, man? Good to be here. Yeah, playing Cyberpunk, and I think I need to know like stats or calc in order to kind of go through all of it. So we'll talk about that.
Yes. And then we have MVG, Modern Vision Gamer.
What's up? Not playing Cyberpunk because I refuse to play. I refuse to beta test a game right now.
So you're gonna.
I so feel that.
Still be playing it in like 2022. You're thinking?
Maybe. Yeah.
This is why
exit early access.
He's a smart man. That's why he won Bald Content Creator of the Year. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Hey, MVG's like waiting for that award. He's gonna hang it up.
Yeah.
He's waiting for it.
Right next to my 100,000 subscriber plus.
There we go.
You may have won Bald Content Creator of the Year, but I won Black Content Creator of the Year.
You did win Black Content Creator of the Year.
I felt bad laughing at that.
You shouldn't.
we got Jordan.
What's going on?
Jordan, good to have you here. How are things over there in the Pokemon community?
Yeah, on fire like always.
Okay, good. I check in from time to time.
Oh man,
it's always on fire.
Most of it, but
like everything's fine on fire, or
yeah,
on fire.
It's all sections though. You just sit there, you're like, I'm just gonna collect and do what I want, and the card community's freaking out, the game community's freaking out. You just sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna collect stuff and not talk to anyone anymore because everyone's crazy.
Just play Pokemon.
Yeah, just do it for yourself. Don't need to talk to anyone about it. It's all good.
Okay.
Don't need to post online anymore.
Very normal. Thank you. Then we have Evan. Still had his LAN retreat.
Yep.
Yeah, but Evan's already 40 hours into Cyberpunk, so he'll be able to give us a good idea as to what he thinks of the game too. So
at least the PC version. Yep.
Why don't we just go to what we've been playing this week before we get into some of the topics, which includes the Cyberpunk 2077 controversy, the Game Awards, and then two of the bigger announcements I'd say at the Game Awards, because I saw some people starting to fall asleep midway through. But I picked out Sephiroth, of course, and Smash, and then Perfect Dark. So we'll talk about some of those. What have we been playing? I know Cyberpunk's the big one, but how about before we get to Cyberpunk, let's just go to other things first. Like Omni, what did you play this week? Anything good? Anything good? Well, top of your head?
I've actually been playing old school games. I don't know if you guys are into Spike Chunsoft. They make like the Danganronpa games. AI Somnium Files is what I just got finished playing. My entire stream basically tells me what to play. I have no choice. They just demand it from me in my Discord. So we've been going on this Spike Chunsoft binge, and I've been loving Danganronpa. I've been playing this game. I don't know if you guys heard of 9 hours, 9 person, 9 doors. It's like the binary, the notary games. Yeah. So yeah, just really, really, really long visual novel games. And we finally finished AI Somnium Files. It's a pretty creepy game. I loved it. It's really creepy. It's always like murder, mystery, lots of blood, people dying, time travel, all of that jazz. So it's kind of like reading a book, but in video game format, which is I absolutely love it. But yeah, that's basically the game that I've been kind of jumping into that. And I've been waiting for everyone to get their toes wet with Cyberpunk before I basically jump in that. So yeah.
Those are good stream games, though. I like AI Somnium Files. It's really good. It's kind of like a sleeper hit for last year, man. It's a dope game, though. I didn't even know it existed. I had no idea the game was even alive. I was like, I didn't know any of these amazing games existed. And I feel kind of sad because, like, as a gamer, I don't want to not, I don't want to not play a game that's absolutely brilliant or amazing. So, but it's also nice to know like there's like sleepers in the background that you haven't touched that are just kind of waiting. I've been also playing. I don't know if you guys have been playing it, but for my Switch, I finally picked up my Switch again because of Hades. Has anybody been playing that recently?
Yeah, some of us were pulling for that for Game of the Year actually.
I was hoping it would upset something at the Game Awards. Hades is so good. wasn't expecting it. I've never played a roguelike type game. Apparently that's what it is, and I've never played a game by that dev
Supergiant. Yeah.
Voice acting absolutely amazing, blow me out the water. Graphics, it's literally almost like the perfect game. So that's kind of what
it is. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I played the hell out of that game. I love it so much. Evan loves it as well, but they convinced me to get it, and because I don't like the roguelike games. I don't like those games, and yeah man, it's dope.
So if you want to get into Danganronpa, what's the first one you start with?
Definitely Danganronpa 1. Have any of you played it? Yeah, starting off, I would always.
I keep looking at it and I'm like, I feel like I want to get into it. I remember on the Vita, I took a look at one like for a while on the Vita, and I thought about it, but like the screen was like, dude.
Okay, so like if you want, I guess the chat is probably going to agree with me if they've all played it. The word that comes to mind is despair. It's one of those games where if you're the type of person who plays a game and you kind of put yourself into it, like you feel emotions and stuff, you try to get into the game, it kind of like hooks you. It hooks you. And you start feeling a lot of feelings, and it's a great visual game for the spectators too, because if they know what's happening, they just want to see you suffer. It's
okay.
It's one of those kind of games. It's one of those kind of games, dude, and it's out of this world. If you guys just like to interact with your audience, I think it's one of the best games you can play for real.
Okay,
interesting. I would highly recommend it.
That's on Steam.
That is the first on Steam. Yes, I would start with V1. Version 1, version 2, version 3, and just play it in that order.
Okay, very cool.
There's a fourth one in there too. That's called Despair Girls, but that's kind of optional. I'd say play it too if you want to go for the full playthrough. But if you play the first one more times than not, you'll probably get absorbed into it. And you'll get hooked, and you'll just play the rest. That's kind
they're all connected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Oh,
so it's super cool.
Okay, very cool. What about MVG over there? You didn't play Cyberpunk, apparently.
I didn't. No, I started up Hades before the Game Awards just to get my taste of the game to see if I felt like it would win Game of the Year. I'm hooked on the game. I think it's awesome. I get it, right? I get the game, and I'm loving it. So I've been playing that. And Jordan, I'm still playing Assassin's Creed. I'm 35 hours in, and man,
that's why I gave up.
I'm close.
I gave up.
Oh, you're done, Jordan?
I'm fighting through it. I'm fighting through it. So I'm probably going to finish it hopefully in the next day or so.
Well, no, because so apparently a lot of people are finishing the game around 65, 70 hours.
Are you serious?
That's why I gave up at 35 hours because I said, what am I playing
Valhalla?
Because when it came to Odyssey gave you a clear vision of what you're going to get to by the end of it. I'm like, this is exciting. I was like, okay, Valhalla hasn't given me the hope to finish this game and what's at the end. So I kind of looked at like the stuff that's at the end, and it's nothing. It's not a good payoff. There's nothing interesting at the end. So I said, you know what? Just like some things they did in Origins, because it's the same Origins team, they're not leaving you with a good enough ending to make these 60, 70 hours worth it. So I gave up at 35 hours.
They got to go to
I'm
Japan.
done
You hate to
right
see
here.
that,
I can't play it anymore. It's too much boring of an open world game.
Without spoiling anything, have you beaten all the areas of the map? You know,
I have one, the super hard one left that's in the main lap, and I'm in Finland right now. And dude, that's where I get to Finland, and the game just goes, all right, we're gonna go to 0 miles per hour and pump the brakes on everything. I said, yep, I'm bored. I'm done.
Ooh,
I'm done.
I actually like the Finland stuff. I thought it was a nice change of pace from just the regular stuff.
I got so sleepy. I was like, bro, come on. And it's like, all right, now we're gonna walk all the way there, and then it's like, but you can't. Now you have to collect flowers and sell flowers to make money.
That mechanic, and it's one of those mechanics in video games that kind of really annoy me, is where they strip you of all your weapons and armor.
Yes,
and you start with nothing, right? And you have to kind of survive. That's one of those tropes that really.
You got to level 1 you every game, especially when the sequels. You're like, I just beat the sequel.
Lost the super missiles. Lost the super bomb. Lost the Samus is naked. Go find everything. Have fun.
It's legitimately making me wish they had that stupid DLC from the last game that lets you grind faster. It's like, all right, pay $10 and you level up faster. This game is such a slog to get through.
They're already going to get that from you now anyway. These games are going to be $70.
Yeah, but I have to finish it now. But I mean, if you're telling me there's 60 something hours, I'm like,
that's what most people are finishing at. Everyone says they're clocking in about 65, 70.
So feudal Japan next Assassin's Creed, right, Jordan?
Yeah, hopefully by the Odyssey team.
You know what? I'd like that. That would be good because Fenyx. That game was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you know what? Immortals is better than Assassin's Creed this year. Say that much. I enjoyed Immortals a lot more.
I did like Immortals more than I thought I would. So yeah, I could lean into that actually. It's also not 60 hours long, so you can get through Immortals pretty quick actually.
It's also simpler too. I think sometimes the Assassin's Creed team, it seems like they try to add so much and bloat the game so much to the point to where, man, it just kind of. I tried to play. What was it? What's the one that everybody likes? Odyssey.
Odyssey is the one a lot of people like. Yeah,
it's considered one of the better ones, or the best one.
But I tried.
Yeah, I think the last one I played was with Altair. I think that was a long time ago.
It's the first one.
Was it? It was Altair, but you learn about the origins of Altair or something like that. Like eventually you find out you're in the modern world or something like that, and it was like
Revelations 3.
Yeah, it might have been that one. I actually enjoyed it. Like I felt like the Assassin's Creed series was really good in my opinion, and it seems like now people are kind of like not liking it as much, or they just, I don't know if it's because it's just the cred. But I've always enjoyed the game. I just haven't played it in a while, Ben. So
they changed the formula for the last 3. So there was a gap after Syndicate, which was like the last original style of Assassin's Creed that you're more familiar with.
Oh,
and now they've changed the gameplay completely for the last 3.
For the worst.
I felt for the better with Odyssey. Maybe for the worse with Valhalla, but we'll see what they have next.
Cool.
Because I still have hope. Like the game is not awful, but it's just not. It's not interesting enough. It's not worth it for me to continue on.
Yeah. Resident Sleeper.
Point. Yeah,
I feel you.
What about Miss Click? Anything other than Cyberpunk?
No, not really. This week's kind of been a blur. So, I went back. I played some Pikmin 3.
Oh,
I finally booted that up, and I was having a lot of fun. I forgot how much fun that game is. I mean, I didn't forget, like I knew, but like once you actually like are just playing, it's just, I don't know, it's just really fun. So, we did that earlier in the week, and then now we're playing Cyberpunk. So.
All right, Nate, what do you got?
A fantastic game that I know no one on this panel is
I just heard the Xbox turn on.
I just heard it too.
Yeah, you did.
I thought it was...
You did. That was my phone. I was watching the Perfect Dark trailer again. But playing a game that everyone should be playing. It is on sale on the eShop right now for $8.49. Normal price is $14.99. It just came out.
Ski Sniper 2.
No, it is the amazing game known as PixelJunk Eden 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were gonna say some weird game or something.
Yeah, I gotta pick that up. That looks great.
It is fantastic. If you played PixelJunk Eden 1 on PlayStation 3, it carries everything that was great about the first one over. It has amazing music. The landscapes are interesting. The level design is fantastic. It's been my escape from Cyberpunk this week. It's so good, and no one's going to play it because it's such a weird game, because it's like a techno black light poster come to life, out of body acid trip type experience. But people should be playing PixelJunk Eden 2. There's a demo. Download the demo, give it a try. If you hate it, don't buy it. If you love it, buy that game.
Dylan Cuthbert, right? Dylan Cuthbert's company, Q Games. Yep. It's a fantastic game, but people look at it and they're like, "What the hell is that?"
About go Dommy.
Oh, I was gonna say I always feel like I like trying out other people's favorite games or like their recommendations, because I mean it's if it's good, then you find yourself into a new genre of games you've never played before. But if it's bad, then I feel kind of bad being like, bro, you just recommended me this game and it's garbage. And so it's always fun. But I think I enjoy. It's kind of like watching people's favorite animes or favorite anything and trying it out. Some works for some, works for others. But I feel like I have a pretty good palette. The only type of games I probably don't really frequent is sports. But everything else, if it's a good game, I pretty much frequent it often. So I'm definitely going to try it out though. You said, what was it called again? PixelJunk
Eden.
PixelJunk Eden. I'll try it out.
Yep.
Especially if you recommend it, and if it's garbage, I'm gonna let you know if it's garbage.
It's a great game as long as you like these out of body music type of thing. Like you're a little seed and you jump from plants and you have to collect more seeds to ultimately get like a bigger seed.
Is that like Loco Roco?
It's like Loco Roco if it was on LSD.
Wow, that game was already on LSD.
Yeah, so let's push it even further beyond that envelope. It's just really good, but it's definitely not a game for everybody. If you like the house techno type of music, you'll probably enjoy it because it's really out of body. You just surrender yourself to what you're playing, and it's like, this is a lot of fun, and the time goes by quick as you're playing it.
You know what, MVG? I saw in the chat that you mentioned Days Gone. I actually did download Days Gone again. On the PS5. Because did you really, Jordan?
Yes, that was one of the games I played this week.
Okay. Yeah. I played a bit of it, 5 or 6 hours, I think, this week of it while I was waiting for Cyberpunk because I don't want to start anything new. It runs so much better on the PS5.
Oh, it is.
Who would have thought?
Really good.
It is excellent. Like, it literally looks like it's a brand new game for the PlayStation.
It looks good too. Yeah, I was a little surprised. I might play through it, but the end, like some of it is just so. It just
this is my first time playing it. Actually,
it just drags on later on, from what I remember.
I forgot to buy it. I was going to buy it. I just forgot.
Well, they just have it on the PlayStation collections, and I was just like, all right, because I was just curious some of the backwards compatibility stuff on the PS5, and I was like, I'll check it out. But I don't know, maybe now better. There's been a lot of patches for it.
Yeah, they've fixed the game. The game is well and truly fixed.
When I played the game, it was so buggy.
Yeah, and I think that's it got a bad rap because when it did come out, it was all glitchy and stuff. I remember some of those cutscenes, there were memes about it and stuff, but they've done a really good job fixing that game up, and it got a it's not a PS5 specific patch, but it's got that performance mode where you can run it at 60 at 4K on the PS5, and looks incredible.
Looks good. Looks great. Yeah. What about OJ?
Yeah, been playing a ton more Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, so that's that. Getting right at the end, but I'm 100%ing it, and I don't ever 100% games anymore.
Oh, it's so much fun to do it.
Is that good?
Yeah,
it's so much fun
for me. But Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game of all time. I love the themes. I like champions. Like I like that. So I'm 100%ing it. I love the game so much. Like I have to stop myself. Like every time, whenever I play it, like I have to stop myself from just continuing playing, or I won't work, or I won't eat, or sleep, or do other things that I need to do, clean, all this stuff. So yeah, I've been playing that. I'm near the end. I'm about 55 hours in. Sorry, Click. I wanted to get you on, but I haven't finished it completely. But
no, it's all right, man. We've had a lot of chaos going on this weekend. So.
But yeah, because I know I said that to you. But yeah, loving that game. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't talk about anything where I'm at and everything. But yeah, it's dope. But yeah, I started up Cyberpunk. Downloaded a bunch of patches. I guess there's a bunch of patch updates. There was like 17 gigabyte patch that I downloaded. Been playing it, and it seems good. I think. I haven't been running into as many glitches as people have, but I mean, I think I did some stealth stuff. I took people out in the first mission and did a couple shooting, did the training stuff. It runs good on well, at least it's running okay on PS5. I know there's been a lot about the PS4 and Xbox One versions, but the PS5 version seems to run solid. And yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think I need to play more. I've only played the first few missions, so yeah. So I think it'll be good though. But there's a lot of stuff, man. We were talking about before the stream started. Like there's menus and there's no tutorials. It's just like all over the place. So I thought about maybe streaming some of it at night or something like that, and having people help me with it. Cause,
all right,
this game's crazy.
I almost
Evan.
played Hyrule Warriors this week.
You almost did. Is this thing still in the wrapper?
Wait.
No, it's in the Switch. I just haven't turned it on.
Dang it, Jordan.
I almost did. I had a moment. I went to grab it, but I left it out so long that the Switch died. So I was like, oh, got to plug it in to charge it, and I forgot, and then we went back. I went and played Days Gone.
All right.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna keep messaging you. I'm gonna bother you now.
Evan, you want to lead us into the Cyberpunk talk over there? Since you are, how many hours are you in right now?
Just about 40. I think like I'm up to like 37 or something.
Okay, so you've probably played the most then out of all of us. So, what do you think so far? Because you can lead us into the Cyberpunk talk. Since the only thing you really played this week were some multiplayer games, and then you played Borderlands 3, and you trashed that pretty well before we went on air. So,
ooh.
Yeah.
You want to lead us? What do you think of Cyberpunk, Evan?
I'm enjoying it. It's definitely, it's not like the gaming messiah that like was kind of the thing that it was building up to being. I guess in public, everyone talking about it heavily and being like, oh, it's gonna have all these things, and then it just didn't. I am not noticing a lot of the stuff they talked about too, like the outfits. Although maybe I gotta try again on another playthrough with how outfits depend on like where you can go and how easy it is to get into certain places based on how you look, because that's not really in the forefront if it's there at all. So I'm not too sure about that. But the gunplay is great. It's definitely a game I'm going to have to do multiple playthroughs on, just because now that I'm learning all the aspects of the game, I'm going to be able to go back through, know which weapons or which builds I might want to look into, because those trees, those skill trees and everything you run into is just so crazy.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of ways you can go with your character. Because like when I first did it, I went into the perk side, and then it took me like 3 or 4 times going into that to realize that there were tabs even at the top that then changes to other skill trees.
Yep.
So you have like your main attributes.
You get points for those by using them too. If you do stuff in that, you'll just get extra points past your own levels, which is fantastic.
Yep. So like I had like my sword that I was running around with.
Yeah, I'm learning things.
Because I noticed that there's like the yellow point things, then there's like the blue point things. So how do you get the blue point things?
Though the different, if you level, you get your skill levels, which means you can level up individual, like the skill sections, body, reflexes, and all that, which gives you overall stats, health, how much damage you can take, just I think damage reduction, what types of doors you can open with your physical, like just hands ripping them open, crit rate, stuff like that. But then under there are sub tabs, which you'll also get a point for every time you level. But let's say you stealth kill like a ton of people, you'll gain an additional point in the reflex tree to be able to like actually use that type of stuff.
So think about how like Elder Scrolls will do it. Like where the more you use something, you'll level that part up, and then you get points for it. Is how it works. So if you just run around with your shotgun hitting everybody with it, your shotgun will go up.
The UI is much better in Skyrim though. Like it's easier from what I remember to play like actually like Cyberpunk. So is there another menu for the blue point thingy?
Well, I mean, Skyrim's menu still kind of suck, dude. The constellations having to go through it, like that was kind of garbage. But like,
I will say their skill tree for some reason the Cyberpunk skill tree it's more complicated than it needs to be almost.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just
they could have done so much better just having like I know it's supposed to like interweave kind of.
It's not.
I don't know.
It's not though. You can pick things way out. You don't have to pick things in the middle and work your way out, because as you level a section, if you only want one thing under body and it's far out in body, you don't have to actually grab the mini points in there. You can do stuff in like the Annihilation or anything along those lines to increase your gunplay, and then just grab like the health regen that's far out.
How do I spend the blue points again?
You just go.
You go into perks.
Into
you go to perks. You go to perks, and then you just then you can spend them. Thank you. Yeah, but I went in trying to do stealth, and then I immediately was like, I'm just gonna be an assault rifle person then, and then a shotgun person. Now I have this purple sword that I run around with. So you change up your playstyle very rapidly in the game.
The further in that you level, though, you're gonna hone in on what you want to use, because there's no reason to use a sword if you're all handguns like I am, just ripping people's heads off from stealth with that thing.
Yeah, but the sword's cool though.
No, Sword's fantastic.
The next
playthrough I want to go through is Mantis Blades with double jump and all melee. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
The sword does a lot of damage too. Like if you're getting close to people, you'll take them out.
They're designed that way. The gun I have does about the damage now as like the first knife that I got. But the trick is all the crit rates and bonuses. I'm seeing like 5-digit numbers as people's heads just explode.
So.
Jeez.
We're talking about where we thought this game was the strongest, where it's most ambitious, I guess we'd say, because that's like the whole thing that they were struggling with was getting this out the door for that. And I think I was saying that, Evan, I think it has to do with the side quest, the actual side quest being as, I guess, narratively driven as like the main quest. So like there's a lot of, it's very high quality for these side quests. They don't feel like they're just kind of thrown together to be there.
And they're all interwoven too, so the better you do, and these are the quests, not like the random things you go around on the map and just do when it's a one-off, but the quests, depending on who you talk to and how those quests end, might change who interacts with you in other quests or even the main quest line later on.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So, let's see, Jordan, what do you think of Cyberpunk?
I think what's so funny?
I was looking at Ball and Super Chat. I think Jordan, can you do an Adam Sandler?
No, not right now. Listen, I butcher that, it's over.
Need Sean.
Yeah.
You think Sean could do an Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
No, he just wouldn't care.
I was gonna say that seems like something like
Bobby
get people
Boucher.
in trouble.
You can do Bobby Boucher.
There's a lot of Adam Sandlers.
Cyberpunk. It's a game that is story-wise and majority gameplay-wise fantastic. It's only bugged down by the bugs, which I've had quite the interesting amount of bugs happen, from insane audio glitches where everyone just talks over each other. Stuff not loading, stuff loading in randomly, all the bugs you're seeing on Twitter and everything. That's all affecting the game as well. I've only had to, before the newest patch, there was a couple times where nothing, like a mission would just be stilted and I could not progress unless I saved, closed the game and reopened it, and then the mission would continue on and work. So it's happened a couple times, but not since the newest update. Game is fine. Like it's not. Like I was saying for weeks, it's probably going to disappoint you. There's been a lot of problems behind the scenes with this game. It's not ready. This game needed a lot more time in the oven to be as good as they wanted to, at least polished on consoles and the older consoles. It's literally unplayable on on base PS4. If you've seen some of that footage, it is. That's just horrendous. That's
I don't think a patch is going to fix that either.
I don't know if I honestly don't think a patch is going to fix that. But as far as the new gen consoles, aside from the glitches, I think it runs pretty smoothly. I haven't had any problems on the Series X playing it. But yeah,
they left the frame rate for the most part uncapped on the newer consoles, so it's just 60 frames per second on the newer consoles for the most part.
It looks fantastic.
Which is fine. It's fluid. It just it is a little blurrier than I was expecting. And then Digital Foundry mentioned that it's a bit lower than even I was thinking it was. Like it's not really anywhere near 4K. So
they have to fix the PS4 version though. They can't just leave it and say,
dude, I think they're gonna leave it.
They have to fix it. The game
I don't know, man.
Since 2012.
Okay, we're gonna
I mean, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but they have to fix it for PS4. There's no excuse that they.
I heard it was unplayable.
They have to do it.
I heard it was like literally almost unplayable.
You should watch some of the footage.
It's bad.
We're talking about the largest user base on console.
That's true.
Yep,
that's true.
They'd be shooting themselves in the foot.
They have to fix the PS4.
That's rough.
It's like 18 frames at times. It's like the first cutscene, like where you're going through and like you're shooting, like you're in the car after. It's like literally like lagging through that, even like post updates or whatever.
Yeah, it's like 20 frames per second, 720p.
I like the polygonal PS1 looking characters. Those are my favorite.
But it's not even like smooth. It's not even like smooth 20. Like let's say like
it's all over the place.
Like Peace Walker. Like you ever play Peace Walker on the PSP? That's 20 frames. But it's like just 20. It's at least it's like a smooth slow frame rate.
Yeah, but it's like the PSP. You go,
but I'm just saying,
tried, it tried.
This is like jerky all over the place, where it makes it to where like you're trying to shoot and it's just randomly dipping in and out. Now, I mean, if they maybe locked it at 20 frames, it'd be better. But it's not even. It's just going all over the place.
How did they even get away with that? Like that's actually
that's what we're gonna get.
Talk about it.
No one questioned them. No one questioned them loud enough.
We could just move into this now because it's gonna be a whole topic.
Project Red. Red.
So,
CD Projekt
I will say this because
Red.
Sean's not here. Sean was actually right. I'll give him that. He was actually right because he mentioned that there was no footage about the PS4 or the Xbox One base out there, and it seemed very strange. It went on all that. And then we finally get it to come out, and everyone realizes that their base PS4 and their base Xbox One probably won't be cutting it for Cyberpunk. And then Digital Foundry came out. Their analysis, it was, as we were saying, it's like 720p most of the time, and like 20 frames, 15 frames, somewhere in there, a lot. Just driving around, the thing almost crashes, basically. So it's not good right now for Cyberpunk, and they keep pushing patches. I think right now the patches are larger in size than the game itself.
It is.
Jeez.
45
point,
gigabyte day one, 45 gigabyte, then 17 gigabyte today or yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, and then pre-release there was
than the
another patch. So there's been 3 patches, I think, now, because I think the PS4 or PS5, I think it's 1.04, I think is what I downloaded. 1.05.
I think that's the newest.
Yeah, so there's been several patches now, even before the game came out, and then we have these 2 that came out. So it's not looking good right now for that. But the problem is they were very quiet about these versions of the game. Remember, there was that rumor that said that they were having a hard time in QA with the Xbox One version, and the head of CD Projekt Red said that was false. And
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Say it's
It
false.
was the PS4 version.
It kind of looks true now. No, dude, the Xbox One. Dude, people showed what there is an analysis of the Xbox One version online, and it is wild stuff.
Oh,
I think it goes below 720p. I think it's like 600 something. And they showed the people walking in the city, and it looked like it was like that half animation thing. You know how they'll cut down the frame rate further on animations? It looked like a slideshow of people walking across the road.
You know what? That could be a fun way to play the game.
Like PowerPoint presentation.
That could be an interesting way to see the game.
Wow. Dude, I can't believe it released in this state. It is mind blowing because this game. The weird thing is, this game was developed all the way through the generation of the Xbox One and the PS4, and the game can't even run on it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They have to get it working on those systems. There's no excuse. They have to.
I mean, they literally released. It sounds like an incomplete game. It literally sounds like it's almost unplayable for PlayStation. Like, how did they get away with that? Like, I'm so confused. Like, they know before releasing it that when people are going to buy this game on the PlayStation 4, they're going to put it in their game, and they're not going to be able to play it like the way that they should. And it's just like, how? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess they can't delay it any further, I suppose, because they kept delaying the game.
They could have, because people would just say, okay, fine. It just become a meme at this point and just say, fine, whatever makes. Yeah, it already was. But like for 2 years, all I've heard from behind the scenes is that they cannot live up to what they are showing off. They have a problem with showing off these incredible gameplay visuals and story mode and all this awesome stuff. But their problem was recreating that in the game after they showed off what they wanted to. And that's why when you see like, wow, look at these incredible stuff they showed off in 2018 to what we got in 2020. It's they were so fixated on trying to make it that, and they
put all
couldn't.
their eggs in one basket.
They could not live up to what they promised, and that was the hardest thing.
They should have just sold it for next gen. Just ship it with the next gen.
They were afraid. They couldn't go and sell their. Oh, that would.
They would have revolted. They would have bailed, sold stock, revolted. If it didn't ship this holiday, they would have.
I mean, they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't, though. Right at this point.
Yeah, because I don't think
like how many people bought, how many pre-orders? 8 million.
Yeah, imagine buying this game and not being able to play it. It's like you just gotta wait. Like you bought this game ready to play it and you just can't play it like that. Yeah. There's got to be something like.
Here's what they're gonna say.
There's got to be some kind of repercussion or something.
Their patch notes they're gonna release and it's gonna say buy a PS5 or an Xbox. That's gonna be the patch note.
We can't figure it out.
But here's the problem. You can't find those systems right now.
Right. Who has? Does everyone have a PlayStation 5 except for me?
Yeah,
yes, everyone has.
I think we all have one.
Dude, I physically abused my PS5.
I saw you taking it apart.
This is why you don't get yours early, John.
I got my Xbox got sent early, and I abused that one too.
Yeah, you did.
But oh well, it worked out. It worked out. Yeah, you're still trying to get a PS5 Omni, right?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get one. I fell asleep. You know when the show came up and I think after right after it finished and I went to sleep. I was like, I guess that's the end. I fell asleep, woke up 3-4 hours later, and I found out like everyone was buying PlayStation 5s. Like it was available right then and there, and I was like, oh my god, it was already gone by then.
Yeah,
and then
go to the GameStop and they give you a little ticket and you get a PS5.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. That was the end. Every single time I've been on Best Buy, I've been on Walmart. I got that little now in stock. I got the alerts. Like I'm on my grind. I click the buttons. I do the captchas. I hit the little flashlights or the car signs. And I try to get through the queue, and then my queue is like an hour long. So for me, it's been a struggle. So I'm one of the hashtag struggle guys who just can't get. I'm down bad basically for the PlayStation 5.
To be honest, man, you're not missing too much.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I'm lucky because I got Hades. So like I got a lot of time where I could just play some Hades. I'm lucky because I was streaming that AI Somnium Files. There's Hyrule Warriors that I still have to play. And then like in terms of like PlayStation 5, the only games that I really wanted to play like on release was Cyberpunk and Spider-Man. I heard Spider-Man was pretty short though. So I heard like
a few hours.
Once you play that, you're kind of done. So I'm not stressed. I'm not pressed for it, but at the same time, like I'm a gamer, so I feel kind of weird not having a system, when it comes out. I feel like dishonor.
Be part of the hype
family.
too. It's like people are playing, showing off PS5 games. It's like cool to be part of that,
Yeah.
But Astro's Playroom too.
Say that again.
Astro's
I
Playroom.
finally did play that this week over Hyrule Warriors.
How good is it?
You played Astros before Hyrule Warriors, Jordan.
Solid
okay.
choice, Jordan.
Listen,
Solid choice.
You
listen.
stabbed the heart and twisted the blade, my guy.
I wanted to test it out, and you know what? That is a very competently made game for a free game.
So the other interesting thing here, and MVG, I want to get your take on this one because you are in the game developer space over there, right? You're doing some work there. You're releasing Shantae, doing all that, and CD Projekt Red had apparently tied bonuses to Metacritic score.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the idea here was the Metacritic score of 90 plus would ensure bonuses for all the developers. Apparently, now they pulled back on that because obviously it was shipped with bugs, and everyone's saying the game's awesome, but there's bugs, so we're going to knock it down a bunch of points, which makes sense. You can't, I don't think you can put a perfect score on a buggy game. I don't know how that's even possible.
Right.
Although people tried and they did.
Skyrim got all sorts of great hundreds. It was buggy as hell.
What a game was running right.
That game was dude, the PS3 version literally didn't work, and they're like 95.
I could see Sean would have gotten in trouble for that video too. But
they were like 97, 95. I'm like, dude, the PS3 version doesn't work, and they were just dousing it with great scores.
It was interesting to read those reviews where it was like it's covered in bugs, 100 out of 100. And I'm like,
yeah, like that's exactly what happened.
If it wasn't for it being completely unplayable, I would suggest you guys to play it.
John, I think to respond to that, I mean the idea of attaching bonuses to a Metacritic score. I mean, think about that for a second.
It's coercion almost.
How ridiculous does that sound?
Yeah, it does.
The most absurd thing I've ever heard. Like the amount of hours that these devs have busted their asses working on this game, literally for years and years, and then to be told, you're not going to get your bonus because we got like an 85. And I know this has happened before with like New Vegas, right? But I am glad that that CD Projekt Red, whether it's PR or not, I don't know, but I'm glad that they cooler heads prevailed and they went back on that, because that is an absolute ridiculous thing to do.
Yeah,
Well,
let's not base it on the guaranteed 8 million sales that they got for it.
Exactly right. The pre-orders, right?
They only went back on it after it was made public, though, right?
Right, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
The only ones that
exactly.
gets exposed
So
and get their ass shown is when they basically step back from
so
it.
Yeah, we're
dirty,
sorry
dude.
we're caught.
That's so dirty.
Yeah.
It's weird because you figure the sales, right? You go, hey, we sold 30 million this holiday. We're gonna give you guys bonuses now, not hey, we got a 90 plus on Metacritic.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you guys bonuses now.
I feel like that's normally how it is done for most companies. Is you get bonuses based on sales and performance, and if you're selling, then you're performing, and therefore you get the bonuses. Not hey, did this guy give you a good score?
Yeah, I saw some people online say that it was also like people would get like customer reviews on stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I get how I can work in, but this is more. So that would just be strange to me. So good to see that they did not do that. But like
Did stream die?
said, it was
If it died, it's on Steam's end. Everything's going fine over here. Or it's on
everyone's
freaking
saying
YouTube.
rip.
I thought we had the good internet tonight.
Yeah, I'm seeing
know it
some
did
rippity
too.
rips.
It seems all right for me.
No, it's still going. I've got no frame
It's going
drops.
for me too. It's just going a little bit
It
slower.
lagged for a second. Yeah.
oh okay.
Refresh. I'll put on chat.
Yeah, it's back. It's good.
Be back.
Okay.
Bag. Sweet. clean.
So what's the thought here on the PS4, Xbox One? Do you guys think they're gonna fix it, or is that it?
John, they have to fix it. They have to fix this game. You cannot leave the game in the state that it's in.
But how do you fix it? How do you fix it when hardware's the problem?
Look, it's not. How do you know it's the problem though? I mean, this game started its development on those systems, right? So we only got new systems like 3 weeks ago, right? So what if they delayed? What if they delayed the Xbox Series X and the PS5? And
what if this game came out in April like it was supposed to?
They would have kept delaying it until there was something to put it on.
It's fortunate for CD Projekt Red that the stars aligned, the planets aligned, and there were new systems, and a lot of people are playing on new systems, and the game runs quite well. But even the resolutions on those systems are pretty damn low, right? Like 1080p on the Xbox and 1180p on the
it's running backwards compatible, and it's just basically brute forcing it, and it works, I guess.
There's clearly issues with the console version of this game that they have to fix. It's not negotiable. They have to fix this, and it's probably number one on their priority list right now.
What if the core issues related to the actual like hard drive? Like what if, because in the mode I have, there's a setting where there's literally a selection in the settings. It's like, hey, I don't have a solid state, I'm sorry, can you turn a lot of stuff down? Like what if they just couldn't figure it out for those consoles?
If I had to guess, it's probably the hard drive and the CPU. That'd be my guess for last gen consoles.
Yeah, I mean, look, when The Witcher 3 came out, I don't know if you guys remember, that was a mess of a game when it came out. It wasn't
great.
So to give credit to CD Projekt Red, they are very good at fixing, their issues. So I think they'll come good on this. Look, I'm not saying it's going to run at 1080p or 900p on base PS4, but they will fix the game to run at a acceptable level of performance. I
feel like the fix is going to involve, like, when you walk down a street, you're going to see one car and 3 people, and that's about it. And you're just be like, I guess this is fine.
If that's what they got to do, it sounds like they just got to descale everything. I have such a sour spot for games that come out that you can't play. I don't know if you guys played Final Fantasy 15 when it came out on release.
I
literally couldn't play after 10 hours because I think my data got corrupted or something. I ran into so many bugs, so many issues. Yikes. The game felt so incomplete day one. And I'm like a super diehard Final Fantasy fan. Yeah. And I was so mad because we waited how many years for
10 years.
10 years for an incomplete game. And I'm like, if I knew the game was going to be like this, I would have waited to buy it and waited to play it. I can't believe they released it in this state.
Because I got that on release day as well, right? And I loved it. I played through it. I had no problems in my initial playthrough. None whatsoever. I know the game is completely different now with the Royal Edition. They fixed and changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
But my initial playthrough, I had no problems. Maybe occasional
the input.
No, I felt no problems playing the game.
Can't change party members, like the trash chapter 13.
Me losing 10 hours of gameplay that was the worst.
Oh, I'm sure there is. But I'm saying my experience was fine. And that's weird because like there's people with Cyberpunk who have not had like one glitch happen yet. Yeah. And there's some that have had a million glitches happen.
I've had no glitches.
Well,
unwrapping.
But it sounds like for anyone who has a PS4 with Cyberpunk, it's just universally everyone is kind of underwater right now.
I know
there's no one having an enjoyable experience with.
I know what MPG's waiting to be able to open up that CX that LG.
Hey man, I definitely do want to play it on a big TV, but I'm really just waiting for the next gen patch, right? Like I think I could get it on the PC and enjoy it on the PC, but I want it on a big screen, and I got the PS5, so I want to play it on.
Considering some of the cinematic shots I've seen in there, just playing it, not even like planned, you're gonna want that.
OLED, that 65-inch CX OLED, that'll be nice. But hey, here's hoping first half 2021 for the next gen patch, maybe. We'll see.
Hopefully. So. Whenever that patch comes out, I think that signifies the date the game was actually supposed to come out.
Yes. The game where everyone can finally play it, I feel.
We can do multiple playthroughs now, though. We wait for the next to do one playthrough.
And there's going to be expansions, too. They're going to do more content for it.
The next
joy.
Click's not having it.
I just we were talking about this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we were talking about we feel like there's going to be a bubble. Where people are going to start, not like, I feel like there's just like a lot of trust issues that a lot of people are getting, and if this is, you know, even gonna affect not just CD Projekt Red, but people pre-ordering games in general, like how many people bought it for the PS4
for sure.
yeah, like I think at this point, you know, like this is a good sign of, yeah, it's cool to have a new console or the new game as soon as it comes out. There's a lot of hype, but maybe for your sake, you know, so you don't unwrap a game and have trouble even playing it in its simplest form, like, I mean, maybe you just wait a little bit, you know, let those tests come out, let that footage come out, because again, it was so silent, you know, like this sounds like a horrible analogy, but it's like you're playing it. It reminded me a little bit when we were talking about it earlier. Is like you're playing a game of Among Us, and if someone's the imposter and they're super suspicious, but they don't say anything, no one thinks to bring it up, no one questions them, and then they end up getting away with it. And I kind of feel like that's what they were doing. Is
that's
not
the other
saying
thing
a word.
that pisses me off about this is that whole review process where they only reviewed the PC version, and they could only use B-roll that they provided them, right?
Yep.
So how misleading is that? Like, I think about, you know, the kid, right? Like the teenage kid that wants to play Cyberpunk for Christmas. It's, you know, their parents bought it for him or her under the Christmas tree, and they got a base PS4. They're going to unwrap it on Christmas Day. They're going to be so excited, and they got like a 91 Metacritic. They saw the reviews. The reviews were awesome. Yeah, let's go.
Whoa! Let's back this truck up.
Well, hold on.
Wait, what's the age of this kid that's about to see a bunch of dicks on screen?
Is this kid Cyberpunk?
I mean, I'd be that kid.
There's a dildo in the first 10 seconds. That's a 10-year-old.
The same teams that play Grand Theft Auto.
They gotta learn. They gotta see it someday.
I'm saying like the mature rated game, Nate. I'm not saying, you know, 14 or 13. I'm saying like a 16, 17, 18-year-old.
Look at the main. Look, there's a huge audience in Call of Duty and in Grand Theft Auto that already, like, you know,
they know a lot.
There's a good amount of people under 18.
Cyberpunk. Let's be real.
Yeah, but there's a good amount of people
mild.
under 18 playing Cyberpunk.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it's true.
The point is, they're going to open that game up because they saw the reviews. The reviews were awesome, and it's going to run like an absolute piece of dog shit. And they're going to be like, "What is this? What am I playing right now?" And that is the part that I think bothers me the most about everything that's happened this week, because that the way that they danced around the whole embargo review thing was an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Right. I don't want to see that happen again. Unfortunately, it will happen again because, you know, all these, and I don't know who to blame here, you know, who takes the blame for this, because
leadership, right? Or management?
I mean, I think so, but then why would these publications agree to these embargoes in the first place?
I'll tell you this. I have talked to some that turned down the embargo. They just didn't sign it. There's like, nah, we'll just wait. It's not a big deal.
I would think that Warner Bros.
Was definitely
in on that, to hiding that they didn't, because they don't want it to affect pre-orders. You can cancel a digital pre-order. You can cancel it before.
The only thing I think of with these digital pre-orders, it's like, it's just because you're preloading it, right? Because they're not going to run out of digital the game.
Right.
But like they were afraid of that. So I think Warner Bros. And to a degree CD Projekt Red are both in on that. But that's the grimiest thing that I feel isn't really getting enough. People are talking about the bugs and everything, but how they handled it, like with what MBG was saying, is just super grimy.
You know what the interesting thing is here, though?
Most people have PS4 and Xbox One. That's the majority of people.
It also sucks from a creator standpoint, you know, like for people who are kind of feel like in the position of, we do get to review games and they kind of give us what they want us to review. And if that's great, we're just sharing what we experience, you know, and like what we get to see. But it just sucks at the fact that they weren't honest fully. So even people who were promoting the game, people who were excited about it, it's not that they knew it was going to be this bad. It's just the fact that it was withheld from them just as much as it was with everybody else. So I think it also sucks because you kind of wrap creators and people excited for this game who are promoting it and who are gamers just like you and I. Like now they're getting a bad rep too, because it's like they didn't know. Like it's not their fault.
Yeah, we're seeing that with more and more games now. Like Last of Us 2 went through the same thing this year, where the review, the same thing with Cyberpunk. They said you have to use this footage. You cannot show or discuss anything about this, that, or this. You can only talk about this chunk of the game. You cannot review the full game, and that's dishonest. Like that doesn't let the reviewer review the game if they have other points. Beyond spoilers.
CD Projekt Red embargo than simply that. The first embargo was text only. There was a video embargo that came out on Wednesday. That's when you saw a lot of the video content appear, because that was the embargo. So yes, it was a case where they controlled the marketing of, we want the text reviews out first, then we'll have the video footage, and that's why Digital Foundry was 2 days later. But we can, so that is It's deceptive marketing by the PR. They want to control the narrative. And at the same time, we see a game with 8 million pre-orders. If you pre-ordered this game 3 years ago based on hype and promises without seeing the Xbox One or PS4 version, you hold some responsibility to yourself because you pre-ordered based on hype.
Yes, that's what I was going to say too.
It's due to CD Projekt Red. They created that narrative that you then fell for.
Yeah, I agree. I
responsibility to yourself to say, why am I going to pre-order so early? Let me wait to see what happens. We don't run out of copies anymore.
Nate, I agree with you, except for one thing. They didn't even freaking show us PS4 and OG Xbox.
So you got.
That's where if you're going to buy on the Xbox One or PS4, you've yet to see it. Why are you placing a pre-order?
So my thing is like I feel like it's like a catch-22 too, because I feel like the moral responsibility falls in with the guys who created the game. Obviously, they're kind of withholding information. They're dancing around circles in order to get the most sales and all of that. But also there's this like they was saying, the hype culture where you want to be a part of the opening, like for Christmas. You don't want to be the person without Cyberpunk when it comes out. So even if you know that the game has a chance of not being good, you're going to be like, well, I want to play it. It kind of fits with me with a lot of certain games that I play where it's like, every time a Pokemon game comes out, I'm thinking, you know what? It's probably not going to be that good, but I want to be a part of the experience no matter what. And I think a lot of people kind of looked at Cyberpunk and they're like, I want to play Cyberpunk day one with the rest of the world, regardless of how buggy or glitchy it is. And once they played and they realized like, oh, wow, maybe I should have done some homework, or maybe I should have known that, hey, this game is not looking good. So it's a back and forth. Yeah, it's a back and forth.
They'll know for the future. Like,
I feel like we say they'll know for the future a lot, and then they just don't.
Well, what about like this scenario, Nate? You go to your friend's house, all right? They're playing Cyberpunk. It looks really good. They're talking it up real well. And then you go home and you buy it, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to get this on my PS4. Yeah. Turns out they were playing it on the PS5. And you figured, okay, well...
Wouldn't you know that when you're at your friends seeing them play it?
Not necessarily. I mean, how plugged in is the person? The person might not be that as plugged into the internet or anything, like looking at all this stuff, checking everything out. That's the casual market. The mainstream.
The casual market is where they get the most sales, and that's where they're taking advantage of the most people. Basically, I agree with that.
It pains me to say this, but I think the Stadia version is the best version of the game right now.
Immediately, if I'm Stadia, if I'm Stadia right now, I am marketing. This is better. Yes, this is not the PS4 or the Xbox One version. This is the third best version on the market.
They are marketing it though. I got an email,
John. Oh, see, that's what I would do.
You get Cyberpunk free, Stadia Pro. So they're
you know what? I would push it. I would push it as the best version of the game, because I would say there's no downloads, no patches, nothing, right? Yep. And it's better than the PS4 and the Xbox One version, and you can play it on your browser and all. I would talk it up like crazy right now.
Crazy right now.
I'd be all. They failed to not have any kind of marketing with Cyberpunk at all. Like, I don't get it.
This is how Stadia wins. They were waiting for this moment.
Didn't Stadia get an exclusive? They got some type of exclusive with Cyberpunk. They got like a demo or something like that.
Yeah,
Didn't they also have it for Fenyx? Weren't they doing demos like that?
Yeah, they did that with Fenyx as well. So they did do something. It's just the problem is just that nobody cares.
I don't know. That'd be like my game of the like if I'm Stadia, that's like a game of the year sticker I put on the game for my version. It's like not Xbox One, PS4 version, But we do have some a couple of quick questions here that Evan pasted in the chat here for me. These are all Discord questions, Evan, that were just for Cyberpunk,
specifically Cyberpunk, yeah.
Also, gonna be honest, unfortunate abbreviation for Cyberpunk here. Anyway, should see Project Red left out last gen with how bad it performs on them?
Yes.
Kind of talked about it, yeah.
Can't.
Yeah, but they couldn't because they would have made everyone mad. Like they would have made a lot of people mad.
It's not about making people mad. They would have just lost sales, tons of sales.
That too.
They would have. I mean, especially with the limited availability. Obviously, with how this year went, even with the new consoles themselves, like already being sold out. Like they would miss out, that's for sure. But also, like if you wanted to have it for the new gen in total, I mean, what?
Yeah. Could they have delayed? Could they have delayed last gen? Like, because that happened before, but like cross gen for the 360 and the Xbox One. I think like Shadow. Which game was that? One of
Mordor.
Yeah, the
Shadow of Mordor. That one got delayed because they took the Nemesis system out of the 360 version, and I think it came out months after the Xbox One version came out. So that's happened before in the past, but I just feel like they were up against it, and they were like, I just put it out there, we'll fix it later, kind of thing, which is something that EA gets killed for all the time. So just putting that out there. And is Cyberpunk too long for someone that would play it really casually?
This guy said that it takes him about a year to play an 80-hour game.
Oh no, you'll be done this game because the Cyberpunk you can play through the story in 15 to 20 hours.
If you're planning on just hyper focusing on the core game.
Yeah.
And no side missions, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing casually, you tend to get distracted pretty easily, right? Unless you're
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think you get in that case, you get a solid year out of it. If it takes a year to do 80 hours, you get a solid year out of it.
It's a big city.
You have to relearn the UI every time you come back to it.
I know.
I hate that. Hate that.
That's putting me off.
Oh, here's the good one.
I hate that so much.
How far into the mature rating is the game for people that might not like that in their games? Well,
very mature.
Good luck with it. The character,
clips.
the character creator screen should set a nice tone for you.
Well, I will say, if you go into your settings and you know where to flip for the filter like kind of bypasses all of that, and that's fine if that's what you prefer.
I like the idea of them being completely shocked without knowing any of that and just going into character creation screen and then scrolling down.
If you're gonna be blunt about it, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening.
Number 1 or number 2, boys.
Cyberpunk, baby. Cyberpunk 27.
Don't play with your kids in the room.
Be honest, guys. What number 1 or number 2? Jordan, be honest. Go ahead.
Well, you got to walk around with confidence,
please.
right?
Yeah, walk around with confidence. You put that on max.
So number 1 or number 2? Which one? I'm asking a question.
Oh, you're talking about
I'm asking you. All I said was number 1 or number 2. That's all I asked.
It's gonna be
Expose people.
For people who are understanding, 1 and 2 is not the size difference. 1 and 2 is a different option in the game.
Yeah, completely different.
I'm trying to understand 1 and 2 as
most people, you know,
they went raspberry
in
it.
As someone,
or do you not want a
Uncut.
hoodie?
Are you wearing a hat or not wearing a hat?
They went in depth. They went in depth.
Yeah. There's a few options. You can wear a turtleneck or not.
Liars in the chat. Y'all need to stop. Be more accurate with yourself. Be honest with yourselves.
They went quite in depth with the character creation screen.
Y'all already lying like hell. Sorry, I'm just messing with y'all.
How far into mature and how much space does the game take up? My initial download was just over 100 gigabytes for the PS5.
I think I checked on PC and it was 63 gigs total. I don't know if that's going to be like the total unpacked version on.
And I did just download a 16 gigabyte patch today, so it might be over 100 for me right now.
Yeah, I think the initial for me was like 59 and then a couple on PC.
Yeah, well, downloading the patch, it doesn't stay that way. It just applies it and then removes everything it gets rid of. So.
Yeah.
Is the gunplay the main element of the game? I mean, yeah, it's usually what you're doing.
The gameplay element.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than I thought CD Projekt Red would do with gunplay. To be honest,
I will say the one playthrough I'm planning is to go heavy into int, and I feel like you can play that almost entirely by making other people kill each other.
That's okay. Yeah, see, I'm curious how many different ways you can beat the game, because I think there was a whole. Is there a whole run where it's just like you're just a pacifist, like you don't actually kill anyone?
Supposedly, yeah, that's heavy in the stealth, and it does adjust things. You can talk to certain people who won't really talk to you like positively if you've been killing people. So
that sounds so boring, honestly.
What route did you guys pick, by the way?
I've been murdering everyone.
The pacifist.
No. I mean, like, are you like nomad, street kid?
I'm street kid.
I'm street kid.
First run street kid, but then I already have my other character set up from Corpo. Corpo was.
I want to do Corpo. I saw the intro.
Yeah,
the intro for Corpo is.
Yeah, I think you're the only one.
It's so cool.
Okay.
I went nomad.
I want to do that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Occasionally pop up different options. It's like you knew this person on the street from like your past, so you'll talk to them about them or something.
Yeah, they all get that. Corpo's got their own situation too, depending on who you deal with.
The intro for Corpo is so cool. I saw someone start their build on that, and I was like, okay.
I feel like it's the fastest intro, but yeah, it was good.
It's really cool.
Let's go over some of these super chats here, and then we'll talk about the Game Awards show. Again, a shame Sean's not here because he would have. Nate, what's your opinion on Cyberpunk?
What am I, about 10, maybe 12 hours in? I really don't have that firm of an opinion on it just yet. I'm kind of getting bored with it.
Oh, no.
I'm honest.
Oh, no. What's going on?
This is the same person that recommended you Pixel Junkie.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Thanks for reminding me.
How's the story in that one?
Shut up, friend. Not every game needs an amazing story to be enticing and compelling. No, I see what it's trying to do, but for this game that was hyped up to be the most ambitious game of this generation, I'm not seeing a lot of ambition outside of the Cyberpunk setting itself.
Yeah.
And it's weird for this thing. I don't really understand what's differentiating Cyberpunk 2077 from a game like The Outer Worlds in terms of ambition. It feels very much like another open world game, but the setting of Night City seems pretty stagnant. It's kind of artificial.
Can I? Outer Worlds seems a bit better in my opinion from what I've played so far, but I still got to play more. But I played a lot more of Outer Worlds than I've played.
I think a lot of people are going to agree with that.
I think Outer Worlds just might be a better game overall. Like everything. First of all, it's nowhere near as buggy, you know, and next, like it's just easier to navigate, easier to play, easier to get into. But I'm very early though, but I might, you know, I have to maybe agree with.
Yeah, I need to get through Cyberpunk first so I can look back on it and see how it turned out.
Even the mission structure in Cyberpunk, it'll be, here's the guide, follow this path to get here. And if there's like multiple ways to approach, it shows you the 2 points to approach the mission. And I'm kind of, it wants to say you have freedom and flexibility in how you approach it, but it's also linear in how it's doing it.
Right.
And it's weird where this game wants to be like, you can make it your own experience, but it's kind of fake.
But it's fake, but it's also not. I don't know if it's because you can pick up things that are kind of game breaking, but I recently got the double jump function, and I've been doing some ridiculous things getting around those points of entry. Like, I almost circumvented an entire mission because I ran across some boxes and I leapt over a wall that there was no point. Like,
the game right now.
No, but I think they did that on purpose, because when I landed, he did say a line specific about, oh, I didn't do any of that shit. I went over the wall.
So it's weird. I don't see why they hit all these issues. It took an 8-year development.
Evan,
not seeing anything here that breaks the genre the way they claim that they are going to revolutionize it. It still feels pretty standard fare.
Evan pointed out that it's very detailed, like everywhere throughout the world. Great. Things that you see when you're in missions, everything. Basically, look around at any like desk or wall, or there's so much stuff to each thing.
But like, there's also little like bullshit things that like they didn't have to put in, but they do. Yeah. Like I get stopped to have the character that's basically stuck in your head tell you how cool a guy playing a guitar is. That meant nothing to the story. It meant nothing to anything. But you had a conversation. It didn't actually get involved, and then it kept happening all over the place. Like it was just a little thing that they added in.
Yeah, there's a lot of useless conversations that happen.
That's the problem with games that take too long to release. Is like,
I'm still looking forward to playing the hell out of the game.
You gotta basically, the longer the game takes to come out, the better the game has to become. It's a catch-22, because you got to keep catching up with what it is you were supposed to be doing 8 years ago, and it usually ends up with a lot of games. Just
I want to play April.
I think, I think what a lot of like things fall victim to is, instead of like finishing and kind of like packaging well what they have, they just keep adding on to their plate. Does that make sense? Like they don't work with what they have and make that run well. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna add this and we're gonna add this, or they are adding too much to where they take certain elements away, you know? Because like I still think back to like, what was they say, like wall running or whatever, like if that could be in the game, like I totally would have rather had that than like being able to customize whether I was gonna wear a hoodie or not, you know?
This game would be extra broken with wall running.
You talking about like Ghost Runner?
Oh, what did I have with wall running? I see you jump up on the wall and like fall through the wall. Like,
the weird thing with this game is kind of like when you play The Witcher 3, you kind of feel as though you are part of that world. I don't feel like I'm part of the world in Cyberpunk right now. And like I said, I'm only about 10 hours into it, but I don't feel like I'm living in that city. It just feels like it's a background.
Is that because of the bugs, you know, like the T-posing and all, or just all the glitches?
No, it's just the general feel of the game. It's not even like the bugs or glitches. It's just the general feel. Like it feels like the setting is just there for you to go, just to be part of it, but you're not living in it.
I don't know what you might have missed, but like I've been getting that a lot, just going to all the different boroughs and stuff, and how they interact and the way they're stylized, since they're all based on like a culture kind of jammed into one. So I've been enjoying it a lot from that perspective.
Don't forget, there's a whole multiplayer coming eventually.
Yeah.
let's get the PS4 version running.
Yeah,
first.
can we do that?
I'm just saying, like the
Can we
game
play the
launched,
game
and there's still no multi. There's a huge aspect to this
It's
game
a
coming out
separate-
that no one knows how it's gonna.
It's a whole
end up.
separate thing, though. It's not gonna be like it's like a Red Dead Redemption Online.
I think they're gonna make it free to play.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a separate release or anything. I'm just. It's gonna be. It's not like your character just plays online.
I think they're gonna have it. I think they're gonna make it separate almost, and it's gonna be like a free to play thing.
It's like someone like
The way
goes
this
to
one, it's a separate release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like Call of Duty Warzone. How that is. That's like a separate thing, kind of. But it still technically is like the same kind of game. Is how they're gonna do it.
And
But
if
they
you
already
thought
said.
Cyberpunk had issues,
Well, they already said like they're gonna have microtransactions in there. That's why I assume it's free to play.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That was where the whole controversy came because there wasn't going to be microtransactions, but they meant the regular game, not the multiplayer. You know, some people took it as, wait a minute, you said this, but
Let's go through some of these super chats, then we'll go over to the Game Awards. And let's start with Swift Mile says, I know we talk about GameCube versus N64, but what about PS2 versus PS1? What's everyone's view on that? Love that content. Keep it up. I'm going with the PS2.
PS2 all the way, baby.
The PS2,
I mean, PS1
baby.
is the baby. I mean, PS1 is, it's the original OG, but PS2 was legendary.
Oh yeah.
Devil May
But I
Cry.
like the look of the
Elephant,
PS1.
Elephant
better.
in the Room, you can play PS1 on PS2 as well.
Utilize its memory cards, controllers, all of it is beautiful.
Metal Gear Solid, bro. Oh my god.
PS2 is just-
Never played.
like,
Final Fantasy X when that dropped.
you got 60
that
frames
was
per
it.
second games consistently too. It was like 60 frames too. I mean, I love PS2.
It literally hit
Maximo.
like the prime of so many games. Like so many games came out for PS2, just prime, good quality games that came out on time. It was amazing to play.
And it played DVDs.
Yep. No patches. You could just play the game. Like every single. Well, Devil May Cry 2 sucked, but Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 3, those were amazing.
I enjoyed 2.
Why? Why did you enjoy 2?
Because it was more of one. It was. I remember 3 being way better than 2, but it was more of one. So I was just like, I'll take it. I mean, but no, it wasn't as good as 1.
Better than nothing, right? Better than nothing at the
Yes.
time. Yeah. I played
Dante.
2. I was just angry.
Sniper says, hope you guys finally realize Jeff is a hype man, overhype and underdeliver. Without Nintendo and Microsoft, this show will be unwatchable. It's for the Game Awards.
For Jeff? Yeah.
Jeff Kelly.
Well, I feel like I watched it for Jeff. I wanted to see Jeff. I want to see my boy Jeff succeed. He's such a charismatic dude. And you see him on the stage. He got the kicks on. He had the blue shoes. I was like, okay, my boy Jeff.
He had the Doug funny.
We'll get into that. Lycon says Sephiroth with 3 exclamation points. Cheesy says, to me, in my opinion, after Game Awards, I'm more excited for Xbox games than PS5. Don't get me wrong, I love PS4 game exclusives like Spider-Man and Detroit, but I don't want to play the same third-person story action games again.
Ratchet
looks good. Leo says, bought a CX on Spawn's recommendation to go with my PS5, and it really is a phenomenal TV. Very good purchase. MVG will be able to tell us about that too at some point in the future. I don't know.
Christmas.
But OJ's playing on a CX, so
Perfect. Great TV. Best TV that you could buy for money.
Look at you guys.
Ralph says Ghost of Tsushima should have won Game of the Year.
Should have won more than what it did.
It should have won a lot more. Ghost of Tsushima got shafted.
That's
So,
still
Yeah.
my
I can't
game
wait
of
until
the
we
year.
get into that
Yeah,
conversation.
Ruben Den says, did Demon Souls and Elden Ring did Demon Souls send Elden Ring back in production? If Elden Ring launched with subpar visuals, frames, or long loads, it would make FromSoft look bad.
Demon
What is the game?
Elden Ring. We don't know. Like,
That's what I'm saying. How do we know
that
what's
was
happening?
voted-
We don't know
That was
anything.
voted most anticipated, and it's like
How?
we
Guys,
have-
if we're not
Breath of the
careful,
Wild 2?
if
I
we're not
know.
careful, Elden Ring is going to become the next Cyberpunk, where we're
That's
hyping
what
it
I-
up and hyping it up, and it's
Is
Is
never
it
going
wrong
to
that I don't know what Elden Ring is? Is that weird?
None of
Like
us
I thought.
know.
Okay.
No one knows
No.
what it is,
No.
but it's
I
going to
was
like-
happen.
Most
Demon Souls had
anticipated
nothing to do
game, and
with
I've never
Elden
heard of it.
Ring.
I just keep seeing the name. I keep
Yeah.
seeing people talk about it, but I don't know what's happening.
It's supposed to be
It'll
more like
eventually
a.
happen.
It's supposed to be more of like an open world narrative driven Souls game. Is the idea?
All right.
That's how it's been
I like the
described.
idea of that.
So we'll see how that goes over.
How about we just not hype it so when it comes out we can be like, oh, we can be gladly.
Yeah, if we're not
That's
That's
careful,
such
we're
an
gonna-
optimistic look at the internet.
Let's just pretend it doesn't
Miyazaki
exist and
game.
wait for it to come out and then buy
yeah,
it.
wait till an actual gameplay trailer or something. Like,
We have to hype it.
what is there to hype?
Dragoon says playing
Miyazaki.
Astro's Playroom on PS5 made me nostalgic to you. Do you know if any of these PS2 games will get a remake? Klonoa, Tomba. Wow.
Tomba, I've heard Tomba forever.
Dark Cloud, Dragon Guard 6. Wow. Or Dragon Guard and then Summoner. So
Dark Cloud. Whoever said Dark Cloud has good taste. That's one of my
Dark
favorite.
Cloud
You can play Dark Cloud on PS5 via the classics.
Yep, you can.
I personally would like Klonoa too.
Klonoa would be great.
Lord says, I am enjoying Cyberpunk 2077, playing PS4 version on PS5. I'm 35 hours in. Yeah, the PS5 runs it fine for like 60 frames per second. All of that. So that's a good experience there. Wobble says, Days Gone is such an underrated game. Story is excellent. I bought it twice. Do you think a sequel is in development? Well, 2 of the people from Sony Bend, I believe, left. So maybe. I don't know. That's I don't know. I don't know how well Days Gone actually sold for him. But,
it did better than what you think, because I remember in Europe it sold a lot. But yeah, I mean, whether they're working on a sequel, I don't know.
I just remember that price dropped so fast because that Black Friday was $20. That's when I bought it.
It did, but a lot of people bought the game after that. So it did do a large number afterwards. They did make a lot of copies of that game, but digitally it did extremely well. Like with the core PlayStation fan base, they bought the game a lot.
Jalen says probably won't happen, but it'd be cool if they put Sephiroth as an optional final boss in classic mode for Cloud.
That would be sick. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they might bring in like another part of the one-player adventure game because he slashes the final boss. So they're like, maybe they'll make more adventure mode into Smash. But I'm guessing he's just going to be a character. I'm thinking it was just for theatrics, but that would be super cool to extend that.
Brian says when the patch downloads, it's bigger than the game. You know something is wrong. Mike says, who misses Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Online? I didn't get into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Online like that, but I tried.
I Jordan mentioned that's the one I played. That's the one I was talking about. Brotherhood was really good, but I never played it online.
Osmond says, remember the backlash to Andromeda, Assassin's Creed Unity, Fallout 76, etc. Why aren't we seeing more people blasting CD Projekt Red? They hid the state of the game.
And well, the problem with Andromeda's not a good game. It's not just bugs. Andromeda's not good. So,
yeah, but the bugs were hilarious in that game.
Yeah, the bugs were hilarious, but like the game's also not good. You know, the game's Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are both way better. You know, there's nothing to compare Cyberpunk to, I guess, too, as well. So
there's also a very good game in there. You know, and there's just covered in poor performance bugs and glitches. Yes, so people want to like the game because it's at its core, it's good. Andy Ackerman says this one goes out to Juice. What's up, brother?
Andy, shout outs, man. Good to see you.
Alwyn, happy Hanukkah.
No one do it.
That is not a good idea. No one says Nav Cyberpunk on Series S looks great and runs well. That's one you should check it out on MVG Series S. Game is pretty good. One side quest concerning workplace toxicity hit me hard. And Marcus, do you think Stadia will start getting some traction with Cyberpunk? I'm on the base PS4. Have had glitches. Google's giving them away for free. Yeah, they are. I feel like they are giving Cyberpunk away right now. If I'm not mistaken.
How much is it again to pay for Stadia and then the service though?
I don't know. I forgot.
At one point they gave it away because I got it up there, but I think it was like $100 for the package with the controller.
Mm-hmm. But you can get that for free. If you have YouTube Premium, you can get that for free, right?
I think they stopped doing it.
Sold out. Yeah, because I couldn't get one. Yeah.
They had an a lot.
You want one? Because I have one that I've never opened. So you
never even opened it. You never even open. Which means when you open it, there's a controller, there's a Chromecast, and there should be a piece of paper in there that gives you like.
So you should get like a month or 2 months for free. So just let me know if you want it.
Oh, I appreciate it.
The controller itself actually isn't bad, by the way.
It's an attractive controller for sure.
It's not bad, no.
Yeah.
Wobble says Cyberpunk is terrible on PS5 as well. Playing it on my 65-inch OLED, I'm pretty sure it's a 720p image. Going to wait for next gen. And Dragonheart, happy holidays. Heartbreaking. Man, that Cyberpunk abbreviation is not great. So, Cyberpunk launch so buggy. A lot of folks ignoring worthwhile stories, quests, music, characters, and immersion. No doubt, like Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red will fix Cyberpunk and reach full potential, but still hurts. And let's go over to the Game Awards. Everyone wanted to talk about that for a minute there. We had the Game Awards. It was we streamed it here. It was me, MVG, Nate, Jordan, and it was about 3.5 hours. Mm-hmm. We streamed for 3.5 hours, right?
Too long.
It felt like it was about 10 hours because parts of that show were dragging.
Fluffy.
Yeah. I feel like they could get it to 2 hours and it would be fine.
Perfect timing, boys. That show was fantastic. It was not too bloated. What are you guys talking about? Stop hating on Keeley.
I mean, technically, you could have tuned out after the first hour because the two big reveals were in the first hour, and then tune back in right at the end, and you would have seen Last of Us Part 2 win, and then you've been good.
Can we also talk about how like they had the pre-show, but they were announcing like pretty important awards during the pre-show?
Yes.
Like music score?
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This is too early. Jeff is not even here, and they're announcing all of this information. It was actually crazy. And I can't believe they actually put the Smash reveal so early. I thought that was something they were going to hide.
That should have been towards the end.
Yeah,
it
like I was like, wait, if you want viewership, put it in the back, because everyone's going to be waiting for it to see where it's going to pop up. But they threw it right out there in the front.
Yeah, but what was the closing announcement last year? Like, if you want to refresh my memory.
I know.
Tekken?
Oh, there's really no Fast and the Furious Crossroads 2 there.
We didn't get Vin Diesel.
Yeah, but Vin Diesel made a reappearance. It's great.
Diesel. We got Fast and the Furious, the origin story.
Vin Diesel got abs now. That was the best part about that.
Did you see the meme? Hold on.
Dude just got abs now. That was great.
Did you see the meme? It's called The Past and the Furious.
Oh, no.
That was great. They were called like Horizon Zero Budget. That's what some people were called.
Oh, man.
I swear.
That's rough.
That was the most Well,
that was an Arc 2. That was Arc 2. That was the announcement for that one. Then we had Back for Blood. That was the Left 4 Dead spiritual successor. Is the idea there? We did have the new project from Striking Distance, the Callisto project. Callisto. Anyway, then we also had Nate. What do we have? From Capcom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ghosts and Goblins.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
We were talking about that over the last 2 weeks or so, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, but that Capcom arcade thing that's coming to Switch.
Really good. That looks really clean. Like, they
Yeah.
didn't show enough footage of that. It was like kind of like in and out, but I was like, wait a minute, that's really important.
February, yeah.
Love spending money on the same ROMs I bought for the last 10 years.
I can play on my Switch now. So I can play in my bed.
So
I'm just trolling. It looked good.
Idea there is you download this app, right? And you buy stuff in that app. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
It's just the
Some of them are free.
Capcom Arcade they had on the PS3 and Xbox 360. You download the app and then you just add which games you want as they're released as DLC. So if they put Strider on it, you can buy Strider for $5.
I like Strider.
So wait, Capcom put the virtual console on there then before Nintendo did?
No, it's essentially Nintendo Switch Online, but you have to buy each game individually.
A la carte kind of thing, I guess.
Or Nintendo at least gives you the game for $20 a year, and they give us 8 Super NES games a year.
Okay.
Almost one a month.
Almost.
So the show, everyone agreed is too long. The guests were a little weird at times. I will say that some of them didn't align necessarily with
Stephen A was the best guest.
Stephen A was great.
He was good.
They did my boy Reggie dirty though. Like I felt like the mic, he had a terrible mic setup, and I could barely hear what he was saying.
I wanted to ask this, but I wasn't 100% sure because I didn't want to be mean. Did he have the right mic chosen? Like to be, I almost felt like he was using the webcam because it happens to me. I've used the webcam mic before by accident on here. Like that's kind of what it sounded like. It was like, did he not have the?
It didn't sound like it was ambient enough to be a webcam mic. Like the webcam mic would have picked up more ambient noise. I just think that like with everybody, like he uploaded the picture of him in his slippers and everything. Like I think it was just kind of like a hey, let's film something for a couple minutes. Yeah. It just.
He's so well spoken, and then they give him then he has this mic that is just not.
I mean, it was so hyped too because when you see Reggie, you're like, oh my god, it's going to be Reggie. Like, I was just hoping it would be more. I want to see more Reggie, but obviously, I think it's one of those things where maybe Reggie doesn't even want to be super involved, but he wants to show up for his boy Jeff since they're like close friends. So I can understand that. So
I feel like he would still have traveled out there, like if everything was normal and they were able to do it. I feel like he would still go there.
I would hope so because that's my boy. Yeah, that's my dude.
I mean, I'll give Jeff this. He did everything he could to make it work with the current situation. Hopefully next year, hopefully next December, he can get people together and all of that. But
the NFL coach headset in the chat.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I feel like all things considered, like you're saying, because of the climate, I felt like they did a good job. You know what I mean? Like I think they did okay. Like I think a lot of the controversy comes more about the picks and the votes versus the actual like the awards itself. Like I was on board with a lot of the musical guests that came on board. There was that there was the Persona 5 shooting. Great. That was amazing. I loved that one. She was killing it. And then they had
Mario
OKF.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Mario was great. Mario,
so I was loving all of the music intros. I think some of the commercials were kind of funny. There's that one commercial that was talking about gamers are the superior.
Oh my gosh, Elman missed the mark on that one, dude.
I will give him credit there because one year, one of the criticism was the commercials, none of them are gaming related. Why are you running these commercials? And then he goes and he actually gets gaming related commercials. So like, I'll give him credit for that.
They did only have one anti-vaping commercial and they had Alana on it. So people couldn't even hate on it that much.
Yeah. So for that, he did, but it was just so long. I don't know. It felt like it took way longer than it needed to. But Nate, what do you think of the Game Awards? Because you were there. We were hanging out watching it. We were on stream for 3.5 hours.
We did watch it. I mean, after those first 15 minutes, you could have fallen asleep and not missed much because it opened with Sephiroth and then followed by Perfect Dark, and nothing else happened until Microsoft Flight Simulator was announced.
And that's pretty much the towards the end.
And
I thought of MPG during that part.
The show it still has so many pacing issues that they really need to find a way to resolve. Even like the Swedish chef who had human hands and was creepy as hell.
Creepy.
I laughed so hard.
I loved him. I was crying on stream when I was watching this guy. I don't know if that's maybe my humor. That's where it's been degraded to in 2020 is that this guy, this Muppet just basically talking about nothing. But I was absolutely crying with him. And I think also Red vs. Blue 2 also had me dying too.
That was good.
That was some good stuff.
It was like the show, they just need to make it a little more compact. We had that game from the Korean studio. What was it? Desert.
Yeah.
Crimson Desert. Yeah.
That was a long trailer.
Yes.
Good, and then all of a sudden you realize the trailer is about 10 minutes long, and as it kept going, the game got progressively worse looking.
They should have taken the page from CD Projekt Red. With that one,
they should have stopped like they should stop like 20 seconds in after you see the mountains and like that's the game. And then
didn't you guys think that like there was so many spiritual successors to the thing that we don't know if it's going to play? Like there's like the Left 4 Dead game, there was like the Dead Space game, there was like a lot. It's like it could be cool, but we don't know exactly what's. There was a lot of those.
Well, there was a lot of
super excited about that. You know?
Yeah, there was a lot of. I felt like repetition in terms of like. Just a lot of zombie games, like zombie games, but you're medieval. Zombie games, but you're teenagers. Zombie games, but you're in the future. It's like it was like the same type of games being presented over and over and over, and it started becoming really redundant and uninteresting.
Or they all looked like Destiny, and it was like the expansion of like, oh no, it's a futuristic shooter like on an ice planet with the same guns. And
really needed that Silent Hill reveal. Needed it.
We had the Perfect Dark trailer.
We'll get to Perfect
Dark.
They trolled us. Returnal.
They did. Oh, they did.
What was that game that we got trolled on? We thought it was Silent Hill.
Returnal.
It was Returnal.
Oh, it was the Karen Simulator game. Yeah, that game, man. I was just like,
he said the Karen Simulator.
That's a Karen Simulator. Looks like a Karen Simulator to me, man.
What? Why, OJ? Why does it look like a Karen Simulator?
Because it just looks like she just got upset. Was like, screw all this. Oh, it's gonna tear everything up. It's just like a normal mom or something. She just said I had enough.
It's so Last of Us Part 2 won like 7 awards.
Oh.
Yep. Well, George,
is anybody happy about that? I don't want to offend, but
I'm okay with it.
Some of them,
but game direction was horrible. The fact that it got game direction, that's just
I will
garbage.
agree.
Just absolute garbage on that one.
How did it win for game direction? I'm a little confused on that.
What
now
won
I'm thinking
music?
about it.
Which one won music?
Final Fantasy won.
Okay, that made sense.
It had Airbuster. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, Airbuster.
Art direction included Ghost of Tsushima and Hades and Final Fantasy, right?
Ghost did win art, right?
I'm not sure. Did they?
Yeah,
I think Ghost won art.
They won art. Okay,
that's the only thing it won.
Got it.
Yep.
Oh, that's rough. That's so. rough.
Ghost should have won art.
That's so rough.
It did win art. Yeah, I don't know.
Ghost didn't win much of it. I mean, it won. I know it won something. I just know it missed out on a lot of things I thought it was going to win.
Yeah, The Last of Us winning the direction. Like, that was my main thing with Last of Us. It's like, you could keep the content and the story the exact same thing. You just should have told it in a completely different manner. Like, rearrange things, made it less sloppy, fix the pacing a little bit. omit certain parts, like the actors and actresses, you know, like who win, you know, like when Laura Bailey won her role, like I get that. I can respect that. She went through hell to even portray a character like that and understood what she was kind of getting herself into. I don't think to that extreme in which she actually did, but for me personally, I just think that there was just a lot of like, people are just like, why are we here? We know how it's going to turn out, you know?
Let's see. Okay, Game of the Year was Last of Us Part 2. Best Score in Music, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Best Action Adventure was Last of Us Part 2. Best
That
Family
killed
Game
me. Oh.
Best Family Game was Animal Crossing.
fair.
Then we had debut game was
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
Yep.
Phasmophobia, yeah.
Best Performance, Laura Bailey. Best Ongoing, No Man's Sky. Best Sports Racing.
That was a surprise.
It
for
was.
best performing.
He was surprised too. He's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
He was like, oh shit.
I
He
didn't
was
have a
like-
speech.
He had
No
a
Man's
beer in his
Sky.
hand.
Best Sports Racing was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. That's good. That's good to see. Best VR AR was Half-Life Alyx. That seems obvious. Best Action was Hades.
That was great.
Oh, best art direction was Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
that's the only thing it won, I think, though.
Best narrative. Best narrative was Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer was Among Us. I don't think Among Us came out this year though.
It came out 2 years ago.
Came out 2 years ago.
2018.
They did have like a delayed release on the PC version though, because it was originally on mobile. But that was cool because someone was telling me it started with 3 of them. Each one of the original 3 made over like $150 million piece.
Wow.
Residual from it, yeah.
Good for them.
There's 4 of them now, and they were like crying, like they were not.
Yeah,
they
had me. They had my heartstrings for
dude.
sure. It was really nice watching their
The
work. You could
mobile
tell.
ads, everyone's downloading it, so you get the ad revenue just blitzing them. So that's why they're making all the money.
Good for them.
I'm very happy for them. Yeah. This is the Henry Stickmin team, right? Isn't it the guys who did the Henry Stickmin series? I think with the little stick figure guys that used to be on
This is Newgrounds, right?
Newgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Newgrounds was the place back in the day.
Yeah.
Games for Impact was Tell Me Why. Best audio design, Last of Us Part 2. Best role-playing game, Final Fantasy VII Remake. By the way, Xenoblade wasn't up there.
Nope.
It wasn't.
Just wanted to point that out. Okay.
I didn't even realize that it wasn't up
Feels
there
bad,
until you just
man.
pointed that out.
That was a great game too.
It'll never be there. They'll never nominate Xenoblade for anything.
Yeah, they put Persona 5 Royal in there, Genshin Impact, Wasteland 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon, alongside Final Fantasy VII
Still haven't played Yakuza Like a Dragon. I love the Yakuza series, but
Oh, you like it? It's good.
that's one of the games I want to play. But I'm glad. It was a hard race, man, because like there were good games. Like Final Fantasy like remake. We waited a long time for this game, and I think it came through. Like I don't want to say it was the perfect game, but it wasn't no Cyberpunk. You know, like you got the game that you bought for. You got the experience. You enjoyed it. I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan and Final Fantasy fan, and period. And I can say without a doubt, I was afraid of the game because after Final Fantasy 15 was kind of a letdown in the beginning. After all the DLC is now better. So I was worried that Final Fantasy VII Remake might do something similar, but I think they came through. The wait was worth it. And so it was such a really heavy, impactful game. But then there came out, The Last of Us 2 was out. And then Hades came out of nowhere and was just also amazing. And then you got Ghost of Tsushima as well that's been killing it. So it was a really, really tough roster for those games.
I think the next game in the series, Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 or whatever, I think that'll have actually a better chance at Game of the Year than this one did because it'll be more they can do what they want kind of thing now. So they can do whatever.
More Sephiroth.
I'm so excited to see where they go with that.
Open it up a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit, you know.
They don't have to follow a script anymore. They can just, all right, that's how we're going to do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. You can actually have like party members that don't leave for like 40% of the game. You know, like 50% of the game, I'm like, I'm having fun. And
I love the whole, was it Don Corneo?
Corneo.
Yeah. And the way the voice acting, Aerith, I think she was probably my favorite in terms of the game. I loved her so much.
I loved her, her impressions. Yeah.
Best sim strategy, Microsoft Flight Simulator. You go MVG. Yep. Best fighting game, which I got to be honest, I don't think they need the fighting game category.
Nope,
anymore.
Fighting games is terrible.
Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate won it. That's just a new version of Mortal Kombat 11 from this year.
Good game.
I mean, hey, Jump Force was nominated last year, remember? So
Jump Force, baby.
Yeah.
Well, how good was One Punch Man? Hero nobody knows.
I don't even play.
I totally
don't know anybody who played
One
One
this
Punch
year.
No,
the trailer was hilarious. Oh, is
it's
it?
Actually, it's not a great game. Like a lot of people
Metacritic.
It's not that great.
If you're if you're an up and coming indie game
oh gosh,
studio,
it's a 59 on Metacritic.
I would.
I was
If you're an up and coming indie game studio, I would work on a fighting game because there's a pretty good chance you'll get a nomination.
You say that, but I think I've been in the fighting games I've been following. There's been at least like 5 or 6 from indie companies that are really good looking that no one looked at or gave a shit about this year. So
there's the League of Legends fighter that's coming out soon. But I don't know when that's
it's gonna
happen.
probably run unopposed next year. So
it's just it's a shame.
Another super duper Street Fighter out or something.
That's a shame because I'm really huge into the fighting game community, and like Street Fighter was just such a flop compared to Street Fighter 4. Like I played Street Fighter 4 like competitively. I went to tournaments and everything like that. And Ultra was absolutely amazing, and it allowed you to capture like Tokido and Daigo and follow everybody. But when Street Fighter 5 was it was so bad. It was so.
The good news is, according to the Capcom leak, Street Fighter 6 should be showing up probably next year. It'll at least show up, and then it might come out in 2022.
I'm not looking forward to it, but we'll see. I'm hoping they'll do all right.
You're so upset by Street Fighter 5. I see though. Street Fighter 5 is actually not very good.
Grand Blue was actually godlike. That's the anime fighter game, but Grand Blue was really good. I think made by Arxis. I think.
Yeah, Arxis.
That was actually a really good game, but I think Mortal Kombat 11 was more appealing to like the casual audience, and so that's probably why I took it.
Best indie game was Hades. There we go.
Yes, thank you.
Best mobile game was Among Us again. Best community support was Fall Guys. Innovation and accessibility was The Last of Us Part 2, which actually makes a lot of sense because if you go in there and look at how many options they have for accessibility, it is quite overwhelming. They did a lot with that.
That made sense.
We give them credit there for sure.
I would also like to point out that Fall Guys, the Twitter account single-handedly won that. The Twitter account was wild.
Yeah. I do like the Twitter.
Best game direction, it was Last of Us Part 2, which there was a good point brought up about game direction and crunch, if that's something that a game should win that has like the kind of a history of crunch that Naughty Dog ended up with some of the reports.
I don't think it's
a good idea, but how do you regulate it? Because people are going to say, oh, this company doesn't have crunch. And the odds are, yes, they do.
They do.
The problem
They
with crunch is we don't hear about it unless an ex-employee or someone who's currently working at the team exposes it. I know people like to cite the comment from Doug Bowser about Animal Crossing being delayed because Nintendo didn't want to do crunch. Nintendo crunches. Don't be fooled by that statement. So, like, if we did regulate it, it'd be great for the industry. But it's kind of one of those political takes where I'm going to say the words that sound good, but how are you going to
really think that Sony didn't crunch on Ghost of Tsushima and that Square didn't crunch on Final 7 Remake?
Right. And some of it is cultural. Some of it, like the Japanese, they have kind of a culture of crunch to a certain degree. It may not be as extreme as what we've seen with CD Projekt Red or even Naughty Dog with The Last of Us Part 2. And maybe games need an idea of before the game starts or at the credit sequence, you put our average employee worked this many hours a week, kind of like we have in the movies, no animals were harmed in the production of this film. And then you can kind of maybe you shame the developers who do use it. And then they'll say, well, we can't crunch because if we're forcibly have to put a citation like this in, we can't hide anymore. And that's where it's a good idea in principle, but without regulation, it's meaningless.
Guys, I'm kind of stupid. What does crunch mean? I'm sorry. What do you guys mean by crunch?
Like,
it's
working. You're forced to work.
Yeah.
You have mandatory overtime.
It's
got it. Yeah. Those got it.
It's
like it's procrastinating. It's kind of like procrastinating a little bit. Like you save the main kind of chunk of work until like the night before, and then you're up all night.
Gotcha. Okay,
you're working 80-hour weeks.
Yeah.
Sleeping under the desk kind of thing.
Oh yeah. I got laid off this year, and I worked at the Big Four accounting firm, and I was working 80-hour weeks.
Oh my
so
gosh.
you were crunching.
I was crunching, babe. So I know the word better than anybody here. That's okay.
Yeah, and it's not just any industry will have, well, many industries have crunch. I mean, it's not just video games.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when I was working in the mortgage industry, like when they'd get close to the end of their quarters, oh my gosh, the underwriters and it was a mess, especially around Thanksgiving time. Oh, I'm so glad I don't work there anymore. Yeah.
What, child labor? Goodness gracious, god dang. What's going on?
Wait, huh? What?
Okay. All right.
What? What are you reading?
Are you okay?
Then we have a bunch of esports categories where I don't think I can pronounce half the names here. Yeah, I don't even know if Evan knows most of these people anyway. Even so, best esports game got League of Legends. Was League of Legends though? So there's
that was clean.
And then content creator of the year went to Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. That was really cool.
There you go.
I know. I'm excited.
Really happy for her. She's been killing it this year.
Yep,
and she
popping
seems
off.
Really cool. Mm-hmm.
So overall, a very long Game Awards. Last of Us Part 2 wins. Everyone was mad online for the most part. So it was a fun night.
Disappointed but not surprised, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Last of Us Part 2 is probably going to win. Like I was hoping. I started leaning towards Hades. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see the indie game upset all these big budget games and win. Just to see it actually happen.
I want to see it too.
Animal Crossing could have made perfect sense as well. Like
Hades had no shot. All the games had no shot. None of them had a shot. That's why I was so steadfast on it's going to be the Last of Us.
It's going to Last of Us.
Yeah, it was clear from every single reviewer that was on that board. It was clear that was going to be the game that wins.
What is the weight? Do we know between like the board and the actual votes?
10% popular.
I was going to say 10%.
It's not enough.
Nate and I had Jeff Grubb on our Nate the Hate podcast, and he was a voter, and he voted for Hades.
There you go.
There we go.
But he also just said in the chat that everyone that he knew on that panel was like all about freaking Last of Us. So.
You know what? I would have been curious to see which game out of these got the second slot, number 2. Like which one came in second.
That would be really good to see.
Probably Ghost. I would say Ghost. Probably.
I'd be curious if it was. I'm actually curious if it was Hades because the second game with the most nominations was Hades.
You know, someone brought it up in chat. I was kind of hoping that Last of Us was going to win all these awards and then Ghost took home Game of the Year. Kind of like, remember God of War? That happened against Red Dead. Red Dead won so many awards, and then we all were like, oh, it's going to be Red Dead. And then it was God of War, and just like elation.
I just feel like this would have been such a better show if The Last of Us 2 didn't come out this year. And then if it was just Animal Crossing.
You know what?
I would replace Animal Crossing with The Last of Us 2. Then it would have been like, oh snap, this is anybody's game. You know, Hades might have won. Ghost of Tsushima would have gotten more shine. Like it would have been clean.
We are set up for a really good 2021 awards show though. There's a chance you could see Cyberpunk, Breath of the Wild 2, and God of War all up there for Game of the Year next year.
I think it really depends on how Cyberpunk kind of resolves everything. But let's like, how do you?
I saw Death Stranding up there, so anything's possible.
Cyberpunk will be forgotten in January.
I don't think
it depends on if
you hold a candle to Breath of the
will
Wild.
not be talking about Cyberpunk.
You know what?
It depends on if they drop a big content release for it, like sometime mid-year.
Yes. If they can do that, Evan, then they can have that refresher. But I've talked to people who have played a lot more Cyberpunk than me and are enjoying a lot more than me, and they all have the same concern of longevity and whether or not this game's going to have any long-term appeal to people in 6 months.
Right. So you agree with me? No one's going to be talking about it in January.
Yeah, but nobody talked
about
January,
maybe June,
really, and then it's still one Game of the Year.
Because you're right. It came out in April, though, didn't it?
Did God of War drop any DLC? Because I don't think so. Did it?
It's gonna be like Jedi Knight Fallen Order. Like it was in the running.
That was such a sad thing to see. That was a good game. Oh well. So we'll go 2 big announcements. We'll go with before we finish up here with some of the super chats and everything. Okay, so let's start with Sephiroth. This was the announcement that got the biggest reaction, right? This was it right here.
Oh my god!
I was like, let me go over to YouTube, and I just got to, let me see the thumbnails. Yes, okay, this is the one that got the most reaction.
Bro.
Yeah. So how surprising was that too? Let's see. OJ, Omni, Click. You guys are you're some of the Smash people. Let me hear it.
Dude, no one saw Sephiroth come. That's so yeah. Sakurai
pipe dream.
I love Sakurai because he hits you with characters you don't really see coming. It's not like expected. It's just like, wait a minute, you could have released 10 characters that everyone was hoping for, and he was like, you know what? Nah, let's just get Sephiroth in here. I really like Sephiroth. I played Final Fantasy VII.
Nintendo picked the characters.
Right. Nintendo picked it, not Sakurai.
Technically, he is told. Yeah.
It's like learning that Santa Claus.
Nintendo gives him like, hey. Nintendo says, hey, like, can you do this character? And he's like, yes. I can or I can't.
Or no.
Is that true though with Terry? Because I feel like Terry was his pick.
No, Nintendo legitimately picked Terry. Nintendo said because of all the fatal what was that Neo Geo stuff?
Well,
it was
like
already a good relationship.
It's really popular. I know. Terry's really popular in South America.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
So,
True.
so they,
That's
that
where
that
SNK
made a lot of
played.
sense for them, especially now we see them kind of they went back to different parts of South America this past year, so it kind of makes
Not
some
only,
sense there.
not only that, but that game SNK Heroines, that was not a Switch game at all. Nintendo literally said, "We want this game on there." They helped them pay for it.
Yeah.
They did all sorts just to get that game SNK. So like for some, they have some type of soft spot for SNK.
So
Forgot that
Sephiroth
game
is
was a thing.
unveiled. Fortunately, a lot of people recognized it immediately with the sound, with the music. So
It was such a good pick, like just to piggyback to, and it was a good pick because no one's going to be upset. Like at Sephiroth, he's such a bad guy. He's like one of probably the strongest villains of gaming of all time.
This is a sword character though.
He
got
is
another
a sword
sword builder,
character.
man.
He is
Sword
the
character.
sword character. He's got.
That's why I put that post. I was like, y'all, you guys aren't upset, are you?
Sword.
We good? We good on the
No.
anime swordsman? We good?
See, no. If he was a Fire Emblem Heroes character, then yes, and he had a sword, then people would be super pissed off because they don't want any more Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah,
but
no more Fire Emblem.
you can't be mad if you bring in the ultimate villain of all gaming of all time. He is definitely top 5. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, he's got a sword, but it's Sephiroth, pass kind of thing. But it was super hype. Nobody was expecting it, and yeah, kind of just left field and just a really good pick overall. But super
in a few weeks.
surprising.
Out in a couple weeks, maybe even next week. Maybe
Probably
you can
Christmas
stack
is what
right
I'm
for then.
thinking.
What is it, Thursday?
Yeah, they have
right.
an event.
Yeah.
They
He
have
usually
an event
releases a week
Thursday.
after that presentation, so it's probably going to be a Christmas
Eve,
drop.
That'd be
Christmas
cool.
Eve, Christmas
That
drop.
would
That'd be smart.
wild. I mean, I think even his trailer is probably one of the coolest trailers ever.
Yes.
And like the fact that they like recreated a lot of the Advent Children stuff.
Oh,
You know, like
yes.
shot for shot. You know, and
I got Mario getting
almost
stabbed.
like a Zelda the air treatment.
We got to talk about this for a second because Zachariah keeps destroying Mario and
He's
Luigi.
killing Mario. Really
He's
killing
He
Mario.
got hooked. He got just
He
hooked.
did, but like the initial shock of like that just happened. You know, like
That was good.
I was laughing so hard.
Zachariah's the biggest troll I've ever seen. With
Yeah,
some of these
Yes.
someone sent me one of the compilations or whatever, and OJ, I think it was like me, you, and Roger right next to each other, and we all like reacted the exact same way, like hand to the chest kind of
Oh,
thing. Like,
can you send me that? Because I didn't see what you're talking
I
about.
gotta find it. Yeah. Like we were
No,
responded
I mean-
the exact same way.
Like
It was so funny.
He ripped Luigi's soul out of his body.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. The Mario Bros. Do we get? I mean, didn't Mario get? He got impaled by Ridley too.
Yeah, he got destroyed by
creepered.
Ridley. He
Yeah,
got
didn't he get
exploded
creepered?
by the creeper from Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he deserved that. What is Mario deserving? He keeps stepping into the play. He gets knocked off to the field, finds somebody else, and then he dies. Like, we just keep killing Mario.
Yep.
But then he doesn't die. But
You know what? One of the most interesting things about that trailer, it's like if obviously it's like a multiverse, right? Because that's not
Yeah.
what happened in World of Light. Sephiroth beats the freaking bot. He beats like that. He beats him in like 2 seconds. He just slices
like
the
butter, like butter, dude.
Yeah, and then Cloud's like, you here? Like, what? He looks at him like, oh my god, you. I love the little detail in his face. It's like, even when I'm here, because Cloud wasn't in the original World of Light. They didn't
no,
have
he
the
wasn't.
permission
He
over
wasn't
there
at
to
all.
use
They
him.
finally put him in for the first time.
So
It's,
And
go ahead. No,
Banjo,
go ahead.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just there's something magical about the Nintendo Smash reveals. Like when you watch those, it feels so enticing and magical.
I'm not even really into Smash like that, and it's still really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's like it's entrancing, bro. And you know, obviously, Sephiroth slicing the bad guy at the end is basically, you know, Nintendo saying, "Hey, this is the ultimate bad guy," like
baddie.
basically in the villain. I think at the end, when I was watching the stream, he flashed and he turned into his final form, Safer Sephiroth, which I couldn't recognize because it was like in a different art, so it looked like the Final Fantasy VI version. But they were basically just amping up the fact that he is the ultimate bad guy, and there is no one else. But it's so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
was expecting.
There's still what, 3 slots left? 3 characters
more.
left, actually. So how do you top Sephiroth?
I mean,
You can
it's
top
gonna
Sephiroth
have-
easily.
Sora?
Sora would be good.
Sora, I don't think Sora's gonna
Chief,
make it.
You can't do
like-
Sora next. You can't do Sora after Sephiroth.
You have to be last. I honestly think Sora would
Yes.
probably have to be
They're not
last.
gonna pick another Square Enix character. I don't think
Goku
they're gonna
then.
pick another
Goku.
one.
Goku. That's what it'd be. It would be
Oh my
Goku.
gosh.
There you
Oh
go.
my
You said the
God.
key word, baby.
They're not gonna pick Goku.
Do we have any
would love
Goku
Crash.
lovers in here? Where's the Goku?
Crash would be
Crash
cool.
is one.
Crash or
like-
Spyro. Maybe
I
one of those two.
like Master Chief jumping in and like
Master
they
Chief would be
get
cool.
Halo on the Switch somehow.
Yeah.
That'd be
Mhm.
cool. That'd be a fun
Yeah.
one.
Some people want Waluigi. And that was
honestly, if Waluigi got in now, I'd be more upset than anything.
What do you have for Master Chief stage? It's going to be blank because there's no level design for it yet.
Blood gold, baby.
Yeah.
Blood gold. So there you go. Get a warthog driving around in the background and stuff.
So go ahead.
I'd like to see some two. Oh no, I was going to say I'd like to see some 2B in terms of like another waifu would be
2B
great
would be
because
cool.
I think Nier Replicant coming out. They announced Nier Replicant. If they announced a sequel to Nier Automata, and they brought in 2B, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Yep. And there was one more character, Dante. We haven't talked about Dante.
Oh yeah, Dante.
Yeah, Dante.
A lot of people want
another
Dante.
sword guy though.
He is another sword, but he's so cool. You let it go. You know?
He's an anime swords guy.
He could be like Wario, he's got his motorcycle or something.
I think there still might be another first party character. I mean, Min Min was the first one. They still might do like Akira Twins. They could do another first party character.
I still would love Age of Calamity Impa. I still would love Age of Calamity.
I'll take any of the other characters from Age of Calamity. I'll take any of them. That'd be so cool. I don't want to say the one that I really want, but I'm not gonna say it because it's like a spoiler thingy. But yeah, like. There's a character that I would really want in there from Age of Calamity, but yeah.
I do like people point out Amaterasu from Okami. That's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad one either. And there's Gino. No one mentioned Gino. Gino's a high pick.
Gino ain't coming.
I don't get the hype. Like I played Super Mario RPG. I liked Gino, but how did he become so popular?
I think
what created this hype?
It's a niche following now, I think. And when creators and YouTubers and all these people say it, they're like, oh, yeah, and they jump on. I still think Fortnite, technically.
Oh, man, that would annoy people. All right, let's do it.
I mean, you have to think about it, though. You have to think about, like, Fortnite in so many elements. We talked about it last week. Regardless of what you think, it legitimized so much for gaming.
Oh, no,
I get what you're saying. On the board like no other. And I think with Nintendo and, Fortnite being in kind of, like this working right now.
You've already sold
for sure.
It would be really funny. I
think his kit. I think like if he had elements of building and stuff like that with all his mats, I think it could be really cool.
Though. Do you think they'd have Fortnite dude and Minecraft
and Steve? Yeah,
between the two, it's
they're
like
two totally
Fortnite
different
dude
ones
or Minecraft Steve.
Because like honestly, I think if anything, like you wouldn't even necessarily have to mine stuff like Steve would do. It could just be like a simple kit where he's already just building with mats.
Yeah, I agree with that. You'd have to take out the mining.
I feel like if I was Sakurai, Nintendo came with both of them, I'm like, nah, you're just getting one.
I'm quitting.
Pick Minecraft or Fortnite.
Yeah, I would quit. If he said Minecraft, dude, and we've got Fortnite, I was like, screw this, dude, I'm out.
But you have to think, it literally reaches a demographic that is so vast.
Yes,
it makes sense.
Just like Minecraft Steve did. Like it's like. And I mean, if you think about it too, Smash is all about collaborations now, and Minecraft is now doing the same thing. They have Batman, they have everybody now. So they're like, you take two people who are collabing like crazy together, and you bring all the worlds together, which would be pretty cool. So I can see that happen. I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd be skeptical.
I'd be fine with it. I'd check it out for sure. At this point, I'm satisfied with all the characters. Like I'm not anything they put in. It's like whatever.
Cherry
because
on top.
There's
no one that you dislike. There's nothing that you would kind of like.
No, it's not that I like or it's just like it doesn't matter to me. Whoever they put in, cool. If I like it, cool. But there's already 70 something characters.
Right.
I get bodied with a lot of the characters. I'm horrible with so many characters. So it's just like I might just suck with them. Even I might be trash with Sephiroth. Even if I'll get him to Elite Smash and dip. You know what I'm saying?
Good energy. I wish the rest of the Smash community shared that energy because it's like I'm just happy we got 70 plus characters. You bring in one bad character now, and everyone will riot, especially with how much hot fire Nintendo's under in terms of the Smash community. But you bring in a bad character at this point in time, they will forget all of the good characters that you put in. That's just because that's how it works.
But then once the character comes out, there will be the reaction. First time playing, they'll have their thumbnails ready. They'll buy it and have their thumbnails ready, so it doesn't matter.
We'll be ready. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like you love Smash regardless how you feel about Nintendo. So it's just kind of it is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So other big announcement, Perfect Dark's coming back.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Nate, we were talking about the initiative for a while, and it sounded like they had Perfect Dark, but the rumor was that they were doing a game that wasn't Perfect Dark, but it was in the Perfect Dark universe. No, they're just doing Perfect Dark.
Yep. Now it's just Perfect Dark.
That's it. They did the trailer. The trailer was awesome, by the way. Very good trailer. It kind of flashed by the Datadyne logo and all of that. And we were sitting there, and I think very quickly we thought it was Perfect Dark during the stream. We were just trying to figure out if they're going to hit us with the actual Perfect Dark title or if they're going to call it something else. But once they went by the Datadyne logo, we were just like, yeah, this is probably it.
Yep. I mean, and in the trailer, you see the laptop gone.
Last Perfect Dark was Perfect Dark Zero, which was
2005.
Pretty bad. It launched with the Xbox 360, and that was it. But they did bring the original N64 version to the Xbox. You can play it now, even on the Series X, because it has backwards compatibility.
Nice.
But it's 60 frames per second, and it has online multiplayer. So like
it's GoldenEye. We want it from GoldenEye 007, but we never.
Yeah, and no one ever talks about it for some reason because it's great. It's a great version of the game. GoldenEye is too much licensing and too much copyright stuff.
So good though.
Yeah, there's a build of it online that they were going to release, but apparently it got shot down somewhere in development and they didn't release it. But people were playing it on YouTube. There's a video for it. But
yeah, GoldenEye HD existed. Microsoft was ready to put it on Xbox 360, and Nintendo came in and said, "I don't think so." Nintendo prevented that game from releasing.
I don't know if that's 100% accurate, Nate, but it was stopped at the 11th hour by somebody.
That's rough.
I don't know if it was Nintendo.
From the background I've heard, it was NCL, because Nintendo still owns the licensing rights to GoldenEye N64, and they couldn't come to basically a licensing agreement with Microsoft of how Nintendo would get a cut of the profit. They wanted more than the standard licensing deal.
Oh wow, interesting. Okay, Well, we have Perfect Dark now. The Initiative, which is Microsoft's studio they built from the ground up, which is like a third Naughty Dog. It's like a third of like God of War Studio, and like they hired a lot of people basically from Sony Santa Monica for the most part and other big places in the industry. So like there's a lot of talent there.
Yeah, Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Respawn, any major North American third-party developer that you can think of, and Sony's first party, they probably have someone involved with this game. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
a lot of the project leads created some of the biggest games of the current generation. Like if you enjoyed God of War on PS4, well, one of their designer leads is making Perfect Dark.
I have to say, it's I like that they decided to go with Perfect Dark and not try to make the new IP. I actually like that a lot. I'm glad they're trying to revive it.
It's a power move as well, right? Because I mean, we've talked about this before, that how relevant is Perfect Dark in 2020? Like we've had questions about, does anyone even know what Perfect Dark is anymore? Because it's been 15 years literally since the last game came out. But now they're bringing it back, and for those people that may have heard about the game or have never heard about the game, they're going to know what it is. And obviously for the
OGs will know.
The OGs will know what the game is all about. So I think it's a good move for them to do that.
I just hope it does it justice then, if that's the case,
Yeah, that's the other big thing is that. But like the trailer, like what they showed was really good. It was
cool.
It was a single shot, which I mean, where have we seen that before? With something like God of War was all one single shot, so you kind of get like, oh, okay, so they are going for more.
I like the Egypt location as well. I thought that was really cool. That the
music they chose for it was good. I like the setting, the idea of kind of the eco terrorist thing they're trying to pull off with this and all.
I mean, you guys are missing something though.
What's that?
Her hair looks amazing. Did you see her hair? The haircut she got?
Blowing in the wind.
Her hair looks fantastic.
It was clean. I had a crush. I was simping.
Is this so? I guess this is a reboot of Perfect Dark. Is that the idea? Yeah, that's a reboot.
Yeah, they did a developer interview where they said they are rebooting Perfect Dark. They're still looking at the original first game because they recognize the importance of trying to maintain the feel of the first game, but not replicating that exact experience and making it a modern version and in their own take. But they want to respect the original Perfect Dark as well, and they understand the responsibility that's involved in that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. A lot of pressure though on the initiative to pull it off. So I don't think this game's coming out until holiday 2022 at the earliest.
Yep, I would agree.
I would hope so. I don't want any more rush games.
Curious thing. Perfect Dark took place in 2023.
Oh, so you might as well just do that then. Just hold it off till 20. They can even. It doesn't even have to be holiday since they're just going to drop it on Game Pass anyway.
We can't wait 3 years for this game, Nate. I mean, how many times are they going to show?
No, I want the game today.
8 years
I think it has to be 2022.
8 years for Cyberpunk.
If they can hit 2022, we're realistically looking at a year for Microsoft to have Fable, Perfect Dark, some games from the Bethesda deal.
That's
will
the
be a
year,
year
baby.
out from Halo Infinite.
Jesus.
That's the year where
All in
they
one
put
year?
the stake in the ground and say, Sony, we are back.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes,
come at us.
Wait.
Come at
That's
us.
I mean, that's what Microsoft's roadmap really looks like. We'll probably have Forza Motorsport or Horizon by then.
Yeah.
They're going to come into
Hopefully.
2022. Or I'll say Halo Infinite is there if it hits next fall, maybe.
So where does
That's the start of them saying, we're here, we're ready, let's go. Next gen begins for us right now.
so where's Banjo?
Took
Do
their
we
time,
fall
bro.
into this? Exactly. Is that like
Banjo.
around there, right? Somewhere around there, right?
Banjo dead. Banjo's
idea.
dead. He's in Smash Brothers. He's in Smash. They're like, all right, you got your Banjo. Go buy a Switch.
You don't think they're gonna make a new Banjo?
I
Banjo's dead.
hope they do.
Ain't making nothing.
I don't
John.
feel like it would do well if it came out though. I worry about it. Like I worry it might get the Spyro treatment. You know, I'm glad that Crash is doing really well because I was kind of skeptical at first, but it blew up. You know, everyone was streaming it. But I'm just worried. I don't want Banjo to come back only to see my boy.
Suffer again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, do you guys think that like the people that did Ori could do like a Banjo game?
Yeah, they could. They
Hmm.
could. I bet you they could kind of make a shift to 3D there for that. I bet you they could pull it off. 3D platformer like
Smash
that.
If they
2D
weren't
Banjo game.
busy on their next project, they wouldn't be a bad idea. They wouldn't be a bad company to pitch the idea to and see what they could prototype.
Yeah, just to kind of work into that because they've been doing like basically Ori in 2D. If they kind of shifted over to 3D and try to figure that'd be fun. I think that'd be good. They make good stuff there.
Some big brain moves.
So, Evan, you said we have a few Discord questions to finish up with,
Yep.
right? And then I'll finish up with these super chats here. Do you want to hit us with them?
Yep.
We'll go through them pretty quick.
Thoughts on the rumor that Nintendo is trying to start up a PlayStation Plus style online system?
What?
So hold on, like PlayStation Plus, like they just give us a game every month, basically.
I believe so, yeah. Apparently, of course, this started on everyone's favorite 4chan, so.
Oh, good.
A company that charges $60 for 1-2 Switch in 2020. You think they're giving us a free game?
It's $50, Nate.
Bro,
not
if
60.
Oh, it had a $10 price drop?
if they do it
No,
though,
it's
it'll
always been
work.
50.
Oh, it's always been 50? All right, well, it's still $50 3 years later.
$10 off, baby.
It'll work though. Like if they do it, if Nintendo wishes it into existence, then it will be successful. Like it's just they
play
have
around
such a
with the idea. Yeah, they have because they have those free trials that you can do. Like they'll occasionally be like, "Hey, you can play Mario Tennis Aces for this week for free or something." So they've played around with the idea, but they would have to raise their price then, and maybe that's the way they do it. They're like, "Look, it's $40 a year now for our online, but we're going to do like this game." And it's 1-2 Switch for the month. Something like that.
they gotta upgrade their online capabilities, bro. It's like they don't hold a candle to PS Plus right now. So it's like they'd have to
A lot of their
change
features,
something.
their features need to get a bit upgraded for across the board almost. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd
mean-
be a bad idea. I just think it'd take a lot to execute it properly.
yeah, I would agree with that.
Like they don't have to do it, but I guess
They're making some big changes. We got a little red icon on the screen now for the home menu
red
that
icon.
puts everything together. So you never know. Could be leading to something.
Mm.
Never know. What's the other Discord question, Evan?
This one's kind of focused on MVG, but anybody can answer. From a developer's standpoint, what can Nintendo do to add to the Switch revision to possibly pull more third-party companies in at wanting to release their games on the console?
Well, John, you made a video on it today about the Switch revision, right?
I did, and you made mention as well as some other people who are working on a Switch. I will say that, and you all mentioned the same thing. It had nothing to do necessarily with clock speeds or anything that was already there. Had to do with memory
bandwidth. I think I don't want to talk about the Switch revision for too long because we talk about it every single week, but
Dead horse too.
it doesn't need much. It doesn't need much to get to the next level. And I think if you give developers more memory and you give them more memory bandwidth, maybe boost some clock speeds, 15%, 20%, maybe. I think that's enough.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think you're right. And Nintendo doesn't want to spend a lot of money. So that's the way to do it right there. We got another Discord question, Evan?
And we kind of talked about it a little, but how would you like the introductory trailer for Master Chief and Smash to look?
Oh.
Like, how would you like it to pop
Sakurai
in?
does some weird stuff with some of these trailers.
Yeah.
I don't know what his mixture. I don't know. He could put like Duck Hunt Dog, like finding Master Chief or something like that. I don't know.
Master Chief has to come in and kill Mario. That's the
Samus
classic, right? He's got to
Samus
come in and kill
needs
Mario again
assistance.
somehow.
What if he threw a plasma grenade at Mario and it exploded?
That's what I was thinking. Like Mario's like, what's on my back? Boom, plasma. But I don't see Master Chief being so violent towards Mario, so I don't know.
No. He'd like step in to like help Samus with something or something. That'd be really
Yeah,
cool.
it would definitely be a Samus thing. And then
How cool would that be?
Metroid Prime 4. Ooh.
There you go. We got another Discord question, Evan.
For people who wear glasses and have VR headsets, how easy is it to use a VR headset while wearing your glasses?
So the interesting thing with that is you still need your glasses, which is weird because you think you wouldn't, since like if you're nearsighted, the VR is right in front of you, but it tricks your brain into thinking it's still far away from you. So believe it or not, it's still blurry to you, which is weird. But the only thing you run into is same thing you might run into now with if you have a mask on, as an example, is you might get foggy glasses even when it's in VR.
It doesn't like push your glasses too far against your face or anything. It doesn't hurt.
It depends. The PlayStation VR has different glass inside that you change out, like the different cover that's specific if you wear glasses. It just pushes it a little further away. The Oculus Go, I think, has something like that too. But it's a guard that you can get that makes so it's a little further away from you, so your glasses don't crash into it.
Cool.
But yeah, the foggy glasses is the only thing you might run into.
I imagine most people just switch to contacts, probably.
Yeah, and say wear contacts.
That's what I would say. Yeah, just use contacts if you're gonna do VR. That'd be the best bet. It is a weird thing though that it's still blurry, even though it's right next to you.
Yeah.
Strange thing that tricks your brain like that. Any other questions, Evan?
Back on the Switch revision that we're going to be haunted by for months to come, do you think there's going to be a version of it that will be cheaper on release because you already have, let's say, a dock or Joy-Cons or cables or something that's compatible with it that they don't sell you?
I do not.
They would have to sell it as like this tablet only thing, and that wouldn't go over well. So no, I think they're just going to release it all at once, and it could be.
They will
end up being like
wouldn't it be like a Switch Pro?
They will sell you on the same things you already own, and you will buy.
That's what companies do.
Like, hey, remember that thing you bought a year ago? It sucks now, and here's the newer and better thing, and it's double the price.
Oh, this is the same company that sold new 3DS XL systems without the power adapter. So
see,
I don't know.
Mario emulation games, $60. So maybe like that.
Any more Discord questions, Evan?
Yeah. If Sony got back into the handheld market, do you think they could possibly do some form of streaming system for handheld?
I think Sony should run as far away from the handheld market as they can.
Yeah. What are you talking about, man? There's a big announcement coming.
What are you talking about this? Jim Ryan basically snuffed that whole thing out like 6 months ago. He said, no more handhelds. We're closing the chapter on this.
I don't think Sony can hold up a handheld in a console.
No, it's done.
Now.
It's a monopoly. I feel like that's a monopoly. Nintendo owns
even Nintendo is not even trying it anymore. They're just developing for one system, so it's just not feasible, I think, right now. Microsoft might actually be able to pull it off because they have enough studios, but they'll never do it. So, any other Discord questions, Evan?
Fun January, February direct prediction. What unannounced game would you like to see?
I don't want to think about
Metroid.
More games.
Metroid Prime Trilogy. Let's just get that out of the way now. You know,
another 6 months.
Or Bayonetta 3. I thought Bayonetta 3 was definitely going to be announced at the Game Awards. I was surprised, or shown, but
yeah.
Oh, but for new game, they already announced Bayonetta 3, but new game that hasn't been announced at all, like a new game.
Devil's Third.
New Star Fox.
Devil's Fourth. New Star Fox.
New Star Fox.
What do you think,
Mario
Nate?
Kart.
Nate, what's the game? Oh, Mario Kart. Let's go to Mario Kart.
What was the question?
What game that hasn't been announced for the Switch that could be announced in like a January, February direct?
Nate's like, I got to be careful what I say.
Yeah, hold on.
I plead the fifth on this.
Okay.
Oh.
F-Zero, Nate?
There's a 0% chance of that.
Damn it.
F-Zero 3.
Silent Hill will be announced before F-Zero.
Silent Hill. Let's go.
All right.
They try to bring Star Fox, but didn't they do like a weird version of Star Fox? It was like
the rumor was Grand Prix.
What the heck was it? What's the Star Fox Zero hate? That's a great game.
It's a great game.
Okay, but after Star Fox Assault for console, really, we're gonna backtrack.
The
Assault is
we've
good.
been playing
Assault
Star
is
Fox 64 for how many years, man? It's like they keep on rebooting Star Fox 64. Like that's.
I have played through Star Fox Assault probably like 30 plus times.
You know,
we need a new Star Fox.
We just need another Star Fox adventure. All right.
I'll play Star Fox for the rest of my life.
Fox Zero was a great game.
No, I'm just saying, but it's
of Star Fox 64.
It's just it's Star Fox 64
We
again.
were making fun of that Star Fox Grand Prix idea, and to be honest, it's sounding mighty nice right now.
It sounds interesting. I'll say that if they ever did that.
But let's be real,
but they will not.
I
know the game.
Adventure Star Fox game, that would be dope.
I know the Nintendo game that should be announced.
What's the game?
A new Mario Party that actually works.
Actual online?
Yes, that could actually compete with basically, just be real. Fall Guys is what Mario Party should have been, but I'm glad that Fall Guys came out and did it because I don't want Nintendo taking over all of the genres.
I think Fall Guys would have been more popular if they had actually been able to land it on the Switch.
Yes, I 1000% agree.
I'm here for the next Mario Party that looks suspiciously like DLC they could have added.
I'm here I can see Sean buy it after claiming he never will.
Oh, Fall Guys, he's gonna buy it all. This much it's
he better not. I'm gonna clickbait the hell out. I'm gonna clickbait the hell out of it. He better. No, seriously, he better not. We're not gonna be friends after that because I'm gonna come after him.
He would never buy Fall Guys on Switch.
I am going to put RGT never buys Fall Guys. Well, I'm gonna do it.
What's the other Discord question? Ever are we out?
The last, I guess, joke questions we don't really have to go over. Why did Bug Fables get snubbed for Game of the Year? Follow-up question from someone else. Same question, but Ski Sniper.
I mean, I can't explain Ski Sniper. That's hard to say. I know at least 12 people bought it,
and it didn't come out this year. It came out 2019.
See, there you go. Nate's on top of that. Don't mess with Nate when it comes to Ski Sniper.
Among Us came out 2018.
Game. I bought it for 4 cents.
Yeah, wasn't Among Us put up there or something?
Among Us came out in 2018.
And Hades was actually released on the Epic Game Store, I think, like a year ago, 2 years ago, almost.
Ski Sniper doesn't fit those criteria. It's a bad game. It's not worth 4 cents. Nobody should buy it.
That's rough. Not even 4 cents.
You shoot skiers with a crossbow. That's all you do.
It sounds fun in concept. That actually sounds interesting and
that's
you explain
violence.
Nate, we sold 3 more things.
For like 5 cents about this time last year. It feels like now it's probably back to full price of like $10.
I put it on Game Pass. I'll be all right.
No, I don't even think a Game Pass.
Rough.
That sounds like a shadow drop right there. A lot of excitement around that one.
Oh, the developers should not be contacted by Microsoft. Microsoft should not offer them a bag to get the game on Game Pass. If that happens, the world is completely unjust.
Okay, let's go through the last super chats there, and we'll finish up. Dragonheart says, "Happy holidays! Heartbreaking Cyberpunk launch. So buggy. A lot of folks ignoring worthwhile story quests, music, characters, and immersion. No doubt, like Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red will fix Cyberpunk and reach full potential, but still hurts. A lot of hope around Cyberpunk. A lot of hope. Love. This is from James. Says, love the stream, everyone. Since Cyberpunk has been so buggy, I've been playing Just Cause 4 on PS5. It was free this month, and it runs perfect now. I've not tried that one on the PS5 yet.
Wow.
That had some frame rate issues though on the PS4 though, so that might be worth checking out. Demolition says no excuses for Witcher is on the Switch, so no excuse for Cyberpunk. Cassidy says, what was the real game of the year and why was it Streets of Rage 4?
What was the statement?
What? No excuses.
Were they trying to say Cyberpunk can run on the Switch?
No excuses for Cyberpunk because The Witcher was able to run on the Switch.
I think what they're saying is because Witcher 3 runs on the Switch, it should be optimized to run better on the PS4. Yeah. And I agree.
Well, maybe they need Saber Interactive to aid them in those last versions.
Saber Interactive's making moves out here, right?
Yeah, they're making an Evil Dead game.
See? All right. Baldwin says, Nate sounds too nice on this podcast. Where's the hate?
People were literally bitching about me like 10 minutes after that super chat came in. So
about what?
Hate achieved.
Apparently, me not falling in love with Cyberpunk makes me contrarian because people defend this game.
How dare you have your own opinion?
Yeah, I feel like that what you were saying resonated with the majority. What does that mean?
Apparently, like this game gave birth to these people, and they must defend it with their life.
Mother.
It's weird. They're like Sephiroth. They're walking around with mother.
It's so weird how some people will go like to great lengths to defend a game that isn't playable on a system or two.
That's the amazing thing. They're getting a game from a company who use shady marketing tactics to get their money, and they're like, how dare you talk ill about the game you're not enjoying but other people are enjoying, and that my non-pleasure with the game is not ruining Evan's enjoyment of the game.
Nate's non-pleasure is the phrase of the night.
Not pleasure.
They don't realize, Nate, that we need you in order to create balance to the force. Otherwise, everyone would make shitty games that don't actually work, and it would just go get a 10 on all the Metacritics.
You need
so
critique. You need to have
hate
discussions, and people don't want to give some valid critique to a game they love because they're blinded by their love for it. Sometimes things you love do have flaws, and you
tell it.
Point out the flaws. It's okay. That's what makes video games good.
Facts.
I think it's just the overall build-up, the 8-year build-up for this. Like, some people went to high school twice.
Listen,
Development, okay.
Everybody grieves differently, and some people are going to stay in the denial stage a little bit longer than others. So
one day they will come around.
Hopefully.
I appreciate the hate.
Cyberpunk was announced the year that my daughter was born. She's 8.
Oh my god!
Is she just as much of a disappointment?
Evan!
That was good.
Damn, Evan. Damn.
Calm down. But what did he say? I didn't hear it.
It's
Evan needs to be put in time out.
He was making a play on how bad Cyberpunk.
That was clean.
No, she's wonderful, Evan. How dare you?
She can be a terror.
She requires no patches.
No patch. Shane says, "Yo, what's everyone's favorite anime of all time?" I mean, Dragon Ball Z, right?
Hunter x Hunter. I like the game, the anime that never finished, unfortunately.
Paranoia Agent.
Oh, that's a good one. That's the dude with the crazy bat, right? With the bat and the rollerblades.
Yep, who was created because of special reasons.
Huh.
What reasons were those?
Now I'm curious. You can't finish that.
I mean, I can spoil it if you want.
Oh, because it's part of. Oh, I see. Okay, what you're saying. It's like part of the story.
Favorite anime of all time. You already said Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. That's obvious. It's either gonna be Dragon Ball Z or Gundam Wing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gundam Wing because Dragon Ball Z was taken. But if I don't go with Dragon Ball Z or Gundam Wing, then this is controversial. I would say Full Metal Alchemist.
Get out.
Brotherhood?
Not Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. Ooh. Hot
You're
take.
a contrarian. You're a contrarian.
Very, very hot
You're a
take.
contrarian.
Well, never mind. Hey, I was repping you now, but come on, what's going on, baby? What? Not
In
Brotherhood?
Full Metal Alchemist, they make the relationship before the whole Edward episode more emotional, whereas in Brotherhood, it's just like, I turned my kid into a dog. Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, next episode, I was like, oh, that happened quick. And the other show, there's so much build up to it where when it happens, you're like, this show is fucked.
Yeah.
And the ending is just terrible in the original Full Metal Alchemist. But then in Brotherhood, like, you're fighting God.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You're making good points. You're making good points.
One Punch is up there, Click, but they need to make more of it. Like, I just
just One Punch Man
went
season
away.
1. We don't look at season 2. Just One Punch
I'm missing out on
Man
the
season 1.
the true goat is Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's my guy. That's actually that's on my
Jake,
channel and my Twitter.
Can you
That's
do
my
some
thing.
symbols for me really quick?
Hand signs
With the-
Naruto.
Spirit.
That's not Yu Yu Hakusho, but Spirit Guns. Is like
They're gone. Yeah.
But I think everyone agrees that right now the anime of the moment is Attack on Titan season 4. So if you guys catch up on that, that's the one. Everyone is Attack on Titan right now. So if you guys are
It's the
caught
last
up on
season,
that.
so yeah. But I will say, Demon Slayer has a opportunity to become
I just
the best
started
of all
watching
time.
that.
At the
Yeah,
very-
I like
when
it.
it's all said and done. Demon Slayer
clean.
is very good.
I have
Yeah.
to mention this one because it was fantastic. Death Note.
Oh yes. Okay, that's clean.
Okay, we're gonna keep going on this. So let's
Hold on.
It's clean, but you have to stop at like halfway. Like halfway, it's the best. Take it all into.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
let's just stop right there because if you get me going on Death Note, I won't stop.
Alright.
So
MVP, have you watched any anime?
Me, no.
One Punch Man. Just do One Punch Man.
It's because he's bald, huh? Is that
It's
what
on
you gotta-
Netflix if you have it.
Is that what it is? Click. It's so you just automatically
You gotta support the bald.
I'll
You gotta support the bald
honestly-
crew, baby. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first off, if you can bald it, rock it. But second off,
Hell yes.
I mean, I've been rocking it for years.
it's such a good look. But second off, like if you aren't an anime, like honestly, that's like the best introduction, in my opinion, is One Punch Man.
Yeah.
It's like anime
It
for
makes
people who
fun
don't
of anime.
care about. Yeah, it makes fun of
It makes
anime.
fun
So
of
if you
it,
don't care about anime, you don't have to be like.
Perfect humor.
I
Yeah.
agree. Good call.
Avatar says, agree with Nate's point on personal responsibility, but don't consumers have a basic right to the assumption that a product will be usable on release, waiting for a lawsuit on buggy games at release?
There's nuance to that topic because, yes, you should be able to purchase a product under the condition that it is going to work. That should be the promise made by the developer and publisher when that product does come out. In the case of like CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk, is we saw the shady marketing tactics. And if you still were willing to give a pre-order for an Xbox One or PS4 version, knowing you had not seen a running version of that game, it's hard to say CD Projekt Red made me do this. They
But
didn't
Nate,
make you do that.
I mean, you don't know what you don't
Metacritic
know.
said 91%.
See?
But
Yeah.
isn't that also on-
What are they supposed to
read the
what are they-
review?
What
But
are
how do you
they
stop
supposed to
this?
believe?
It's clearly like it seems like a force that you can't stop. It's clearly some shady things, underhanded tactics happening, but they can get away with it because
I'm not disagreeing with you,
Well,
Nate.
that's
All
where-
I'm saying
that's
is
where my
people
stance kind of is, if we want these policies to change, then we as the consumer have to inform ourselves not to hand over our money so willingly to a shady company. Let's call them out for these business practices by not pre-ordering the game. And when we read the reviews, at the bottom, it should say reviewed on PC. So I can
Yeah,
say
I
I was
would
reviewed
agree
on
with that.
PC. It was
Yes.
not on Xbox and PS4. So what I am reading is a broad basis of what the game can be on the best hardware out there. I need to wait to see on the platform I'm interested in. Is like nobody's going to read the review for Doom Eternal on Xbox One X and say I'm buying it on Switch because that review said it was amazing. Buy it on Switch and say this doesn't look as good as they said.
Yeah, I don't see this any different to like reviewing Crysis on the high-end graphics card and then like getting it for like just the Xbox or something. It's the same thing. It's misleading and it's wrong. And
do you
they
think
need
maybe
to fix this?
80 Sweet Fire.
do you think maybe
Like,
Cyberpunk isn't getting enough hate? Like maybe they need to be blasted more for
They
this. Like
should,
people need
but
to be
it's CD
more
Projekt
angry
Red.
because
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah, they
they're not getting No Man's Sky. When that happened, everyone was
Oh,
enraged
yeah.
when No Man's Sky
To
happened.
be honest, though, did you see how many Cyberpunk seats were sent out to creators and stuff like that? Like,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
little hard to
Oh,
blast the
yeah.
game that they
Absolutely.
knew they could get people on board with the hype. Like, I
Absolutely.
don't see any of us sitting in one of those seats, so I think we are kind of in a place to like say a little bit more against it versus people. I'm sure there are some people, who have been sent a lot of promotional items where they're like, oh shoot. Like if I had known, but they weren't because they were fed specific info to kind of just regurgitate on their behalf,
I got a review code for Cyberpunk. I just want to make sure that I state that.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
look at
I
you.
still got a review,
They're
like, I
dangling
still
the
got a review
strings.
code for this game. I didn't go out and I didn't buy it. And but see, that's the good thing. Like, yeah, we're gonna see, like you said, Crysis is reviewed on that high-end card. Now, like, where's the responsibility fall? Is it me on the consumer to say this was reviewed with that high-end card? My PC is a piece of crap. I shouldn't go in expecting that because the publisher is never going to be that transparent because they're all about selling. So it comes down to the journalist writing the review
Yes.
to give us that information so the consumer can make the informed decision. And in the case of CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077, they never shared Xbox and PS4 footage. So the consumer should have been able to say to themselves, I have not seen this. Let me call out these shady business practices, hold them responsible, hold them to the fire until they do this. And until they do, I'm not handing you over money.
It's just, I think it sucks that they knew people didn't know what to ask for, though. Like, they didn't know what to look for. Like, you don't know what you don't know. So I just think it sucks that they took advantage of that situation, knowing that it wasn't really a thing that was going to be on the forefront of their mind to look for.
It's one of the bigger problems in this industry is that at the end of the day, the publisher and the PR firms working for them control the narrative of every release out there. They only let the information that they want out to become public. And as a journalist, you can go to CD Projekt Red or Warner Brothers and say, how is the Xbox One version looking? And they're going to give you the standard run through the mill tested release saying it's fine.
It's
And
in
all you can
development.
do as a journalist is further push them, and they're not going to budge. They're going to give you a hardline political statement that gives you no leeway one way or the other. And you can say, I want footage, I demand footage, and they're not going to give it to you.
So we just gotta hate these guys. We gotta blast them. We literally gotta light a fire under their ass and
We as a consumer have to hold these publishers and developers
accountable,
responsible and accountable for what they are doing, and only then will we see change from them to become more transparent with such releases. I mean, and we've had Switch games where we go to the eShop. What is it? That Ghost Runner game. Those screenshots on the eShop are not representative of the actual.
I didn't even know they had Ghost Runner on the Switch. I can't imagine.
Oh, what was that other Cyberpunk taxi driver game that came out a few months ago where it's a disaster on the Switch? It looks like something from the PlayStation 1, but the eShop screens are
use
from
PS4 screenshots.
Yeah, and it's because no one's really buying those games, so it kind of goes by the wayside.
Yep.
But we should have all of those should be held responsible for their misleading marketing. And we've seen it a lot on the eShop. We've seen a lot of games use PlayStation 4 screens on eShop game listings.
Yeah. So it's
we just blast
it. Unfortunately, it's an industry standard because they're kind of if no one's holding them over the coals for it, they're not going to willingly show you, our version looks like crap.
And they're buying out the creators. So like the people who have the most influence on calling out these guys are getting bought out. So it's kind of like it's a catch-22. What are you going to do when
I don't even think it's necessarily being bought out. It's just more of like, you're kind of just encouraged.
We're using them. I don't mean like bought out like they're collusion, but more so they're using them. And
I understand.
They give me a review code. I've already made fun of them for 2 days straight for bugs on Twitter. So
I mean, I'll use Immortals as a loose example. But if I give all the influencers and I say you guys can stream it ahead of an embargo, but you have to use the PC version, I'm making sure everyone's saying, "Oh, this game's awesome! Look how great it looks on the PC."
It's only on PC though.
It's only on PC. The Switch version comes out the next day. People say, "Oh, I saw that influencer. I trust. Play that game." I'm gonna pick up the Switch one because what I saw looked good, but the Switch version looks nowhere near that. Who do you like? That's Ubisoft basically saying we're marketing the game. We just don't want you to know how this version looks. We want your dollars. And then after the fact, you'll say, "Oh no." As a consumer, we can wait. When you spend $60 or $70 on a brand new game, what you're actually paying for is to have it day one.
Let's go through some of these super chats as we do some outros here because we're already in overtime now. So let's go to Omni, our guest for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm gonna go through super chats. I want to let everyone know where they can find you.
Okay, thank you. That's me. You can find me. So I do YouTube, youtube.com/InfernoOmni. I really don't have any direction to my channel right now, and I kind of just talk about what my audience wants to talk about every day on my Twitter. I usually
doing daily videos though.
Yeah, I just do daily. Yeah, I've started daily videos for the past 3 months, and the channel's taken off. Quick story. In August, I used to work for a big Ford company. I was in accounting. I was grinding. I was doing the crunch. And then, COVID came through and they laid off like a bunch of people. I was one of those people. So I was kind of like in a place where I was like, all right, well, for the first time in like maybe 8-9 years of doing YouTube, I can try to do it full time because I've been trying to balance it part time for a long time. So I just started, cranking out videos, started talking about anything and everything. And it's now getting to a point where it's successful. I didn't see it coming this far and I'm really thankful for it. And I appreciate everyone who's been supporting me for it. So now I just talk about daily things. It can be drama, it can be tea, it can be gaming, it can be whatever. Don't really have any clear direction, but you guys can find me there on YouTube. I stream sometimes on Twitch. And obviously I'm just, causing mayhem on Twitter as well. So that's the 3 places. But I do want to appreciate you guys inviting me to this Spawncast. This is my first podcast ever, by the way. And
you did great.
Thank you. I hope I was talking enough. I wasn't, sometimes I didn't know things, but this was really comfortable. It was really relaxed. I was kind of nervous at first. I'm actually a kind of a shy guy. So, but you guys made it really comfortable. So I appreciate you guys inviting me onto the show. And if you guys need a guest to come through, hit me up. It'd be pretty fun. I like it.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah. And actually, Jordan, there is a super chat here for you.
There was. Sorry, I was on a phone call.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I figured you'd want to. You played this game, I believe. Brent says, "Hi everyone, Jordan. Have you played the new Mystery Dungeon game for the Switch? How was it? Thanks."
Well, I seem to be the outlier, thinking that it was very fun and a good throwback to the original game. Some other people on this cast may tell you different and make fun of that, but I really enjoyed it. And
he's talking about me. Go ahead.
I liked it.
I made fun of the game for about a week, but go on.
Is it ever if it ever goes on sale? Like how much is it? Like has it ever gone on sale?
I think I thought it released. Was it a $6 game when it came out? It was.
Yeah, 60.
I feel like it's gone sale once for $40. I think I've seen that on the eShop.
$40, it is a solid purchase because that was basically the original cost of like the DS version back in the day, $35-$40.
Yes.
So go for it.
And Jonathan says, I bought a 1080 Ti for Cyberpunk 3 years ago.
Nah.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Rip.
All right. Brian, which game runs better, Outer Worlds Switch or Cyberpunk on Xbox One? You know, I'd have to give it to Outer Worlds on the Switch because it doesn't have as many bugs.
They patched it. It actually runs a lot better now.
Yeah, I'd have to give it to Outer Worlds on the Switch, actually.
Yikes.
Now that I think about it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it at least runs. You don't fall through the floor. The character out of the fridge doesn't explode.
True. There's no random bugs like that. I mean, it does have random loading as you're walking in the overworld. So it's kind of weird there. And I mean, Cyberpunk on Xbox One is blurry as all hell. Not that Outer Worlds isn't a blurry mess in its own right.
They're both blurry messes, but like
Outer Worlds is probably more playable and enjoyable, and it stayed on Switch than Cyberpunk on Xbox One.
Zoop says, I give Game Awards 2020 6 out of 10. Too much zombie. There were a lot of zombie games there.
Yeah.
Too many.
A lot of zombie.
Soaplock says, how come Doom Eternal didn't win Best Action Game? Because Last of Us Part 2. Juiceman Vaughn says, MVG knows what's up. Klonoa 2 is an underrated classic.
Yes,
It is. It's a great game.
MVG, you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Game. I have a Monday video coming out, and I may drop a midweek video next week as well. So check out the channel. Thanks for having me on.
Interesting. Dark says, I'm playing on PS4 and I only had 4 crashes in 22 hours. So far, it played smoothly for me. A little lag when things get intense, but overall, lots of fun.
Only 4 times?
Only 4 times.
Not bad.
That's so funny. We have to say it only crashed 4 times in 24 hours. It's great.
Less than Fallout 3 when I
Congratulations.
first played that on PS3. That was like 16
not-
times in like 15 hours.
Yeah, I remember playing Skyrim on PC and that thing freaking dropping all the time.
Yes. Still Alive says, if CD Projekt Red said this was not coming out PS4, Xbox One, and would only come out on next-gen consoles, PC, how much backlash would they have received? Probably quite a bit.
Warner
I would say
murdered-
so.
Warner Bros. would have murdered them behind the scenes. They would be done.
I think it depends on when they would have said it. If this was never announced for
Yeah.
current gen consoles and it was just, we're making this Cyberpunk game,
Years
and
ago.
they announced it in like 2017 for next gen consoles, then I
Yeah.
don't think anyone really would have batted an eye.
So
It's-
if it was like Starfield is now, where we don't know platforms for Starfield, and if they come out and say
Yes.
it's just a PS5 and a Series X and S game and PC, everyone would be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
I think it would have been
Yeah.
probably received fairly well then.
Okay. Marcus, whoever mentioned PixelJunk Eden, thank you, all caps. There you go. I played this on PS3. I loved it, and I kept waiting for a sequel. What a surprise. It was on the Switch.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I
Nate,
do recommend good games sometimes. You
Nate, do you want to tell them where they can find you?
can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. We will have at least one episode next week. Probably drop one on either Monday morning or Tuesday morning. Still trying to figure out the timing on that. Maybe it'll be a 2-episode week. We've been promising people a 2-episode week for a while now. We've yet to deliver on that one. So we'll work on that.
One of them's about to see Project Red, I assume.
No.
Really? Wow.
We're moving on from that.
I'm not going to talk about Cyberpunk until MVG has had time to play it himself.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like I mean, I have opinions on it, but I haven't played the game yet. So I would.
When are you going to play it?
When they fix the bugs.
Dude,
So never?
We'll talk about it in 2022.
Whenever I get a patch for the PS5 that gives me PS5 enhancements and the bugs are fixed, that's when I'll jump in.
But the bugs may never be fixed because we'll get the multiplayer mode,
But
and then
they
they'll be left
will.
in that.
They will. I mean, they fixed The
Okay.
Witcher. I mean, they'll fix it eventually.
Your time's occupied for now, though, right? Like you're
Make
you're good for
sure you
now.
check out Nate the Hate though, because he's coming up on 10,000 subscribers as well.
We are coming up on 10,000. I would say listen to our last episode, but that was a Game Awards predictions video, and the Game Awards has come and gone, so it probably didn't age well.
Actually, it aged pretty
Actually,
well.
it
right?
aged very well. It
Right.
aged well, but it's not something you want to listen to after the fact.
Oh, yeah,
so you can
yeah.
listen to the
Something
episode we
salty.
had before that, where we talked about.
Other than your bullshit Silent Hill 2 rumors.
Hey, hey. Hey,
I want to believe.
one day that's happening, MVG. It's gonna happen, and I'm going to watch
Pay
you
to play
enjoy it.
January or February. All right. Zeno
it on.
says Naughty
Pay to
Dog and Jeff
play.
Keighley equals pay to win. Bummer Rob. Miss Click, who's the best Zelda NPC? You would say no main characters.
Zelda NPC.
Yeah, non-playable character. I guess character you can't play as. Kind of.
There's only one answer. There's
I
only
mean,
one answer,
sure.
by the way.
I'd say Mr. Tingle, but you can play as him.
Yeah,
There's
you can
only
play
one
it.
Yeah,
answer.
I'm trying to think like, are we including like who's playable in like a Warriors game?
I'm gonna say.
Like-
Don't worry about the Warriors games. Don't even think of those. I'm more like the.
There's only one
Main
right answer though. You have
games.
to answer this carefully.
There's okay. No, I mean, like NPC wise, I mean it's gotta be like Minda or Majora.
That's not how you say Groose.
I was gonna say.
love Groose, but still.
I was gonna say the mask guy, the mask shop guy.
Mass
Oh, Happy
salesman.
That
Mask
guy's-
Salesman?
Oh, the
Happy
guy
Meal
that's
Salesman.
possibly a god. Yeah, that guy's cool.
Yes.
Possibly a god.
Who's the guy that turns the? Who's the guy that's turning the wheel? The
The
accordion
windmill
dude?
man. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Miss Click, where can they find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys can find me here on YouTube as Misclick Gaming. I'll link all my links for you guys so you don't have to worry about searching around. But taking a small hiatus from YouTube right now. I'll have some footage up for Hyrule Warriors Let's Play finally back up on the channel. I did finish Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and I loved it. Other than that, we are playing through Cyberpunk on Twitch. I'm mainly a streamer, so we're live every day except for Sunday. Would love to see you guys come through on the playthrough, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I'll link it in the chat, but thank you for having me, and yeah. What in the world? Is that Groose's theme?
Is that the Pix? Oh.
It's Groose's. Groose is on the loose, baby.
That theme is kind of hot. It kind of slaps.
Thank you.
Incoming DMCA.
Thanks for that.
I found that on YouTube. It has 1.1 million views. You should be
Not,
safe.
not for long.
Not for long, yeah.
Matanumi says, "Yo, Omni's here. Shout outs to Omni. Hashtag
thanks,
free melee. Hashtag bring back PM."
Bring back PM. Oh man, yeah. Project M. Is...
Oh, I was concerned something happened to Paper Mario.
No, the whole cause with the whole free melee thing too. That thing is still going crazy right now. And I don't know if you guys know, but they're doing the whole melee metagame documentary right now as we speak. So if you guys want to, I don't know if you guys heard of the original Melee documentary, but it just tells you the whole story. It's what made Melee huge in the first place. So they have a new part coming up, so you guys can watch that as well. But yeah, free Melee and free Project M. I agree.
Bummer Rob says GoldenEye Source needs a Switch port. MVG.
They know where to find me.
There you go. Dragonheart says best Sephiroth, Ghosts and Goblins, Mario Orchestra, Final Fantasy 7, best RPG, Ghost People's Choice, Hades best indie, Daniel and Chosen, worst Last of Us 2. There you go. Nenny says, I'm reading them. Thinking of getting Xbox Series S, debating external hard drive versus external SSD for cold storage of Xbox games libraries. Thoughts? I like the idea of external SSD, but you're just transferring them back and forth, really. So
yeah, you'll fill up that drive very quickly on the Series S. Take it from me.
If you can stand the extra 5 minutes transferring back and forth, get yourself an 8 terabyte external mechanical drive and be done with it. So just to store the games there and then take them back to your system. And then Mutt says, Last of Us 2 winning best narrative is an insult to gaming. Okay.
Was it that bad? Okay, can I just say I haven't.
Oh boy, here's Jordan. All right, Jordan's here for this. Dude, Jordan will go for 3 hours on this.
Is it that bad?
It is a very polarizing game. And if you have a very strong attachment to what the first game offered, it most likely will probably have you very confused, disappointed, and sad.
Traumatic.
Sounds like
traumatic within the first, like literally within the first few hours of the game. The narrative, I think,
all over
here's what I've said many times at this point. if you take, like, I'm not necessarily mad at the events of the game.
It's how they handled it.
If you rearrange it and repace the game out, it can work completely. But the way they decided to tell it and the way they show it makes it a dragging, boringly paced messy story that just leaves you more disappointed than happy at the end of it. And not that everything has to leave you happy at the end of it, but I'm saying if you're a Last of Us fan, this story could still work if they told it better.
Yes.
And then Colin says, anyone complaining about Cyberpunk running poorly on console has no excuse. It was their choice to waste money on a peasant box rather than a PC.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm
gatekeeping. We gatekeeping consoles out here.
I'm playing on PC. You know, I could have brought up, you know, Wayne having these issues on PC, but you know, not everybody gonna be able to afford to build their own PC.
Brought out the golf club.
Get the club, baby.
Brought out the 9.
Jordan.
He keep that thing on him. He keep that thing.
I heard Last of Us Part 2 won Best Game of the Year, huh? It'd be a shame if I broke some kneecaps around, you know what I'm saying?
It should have won Sports Game of the Year, like I was saying on Twitter. Right?
Hey,
I thought he was about to do a Happy Gilmore impression, man.
Joel won, baby.
Lynch has golfed this much in his life.
Joel in 1. That's good. That's good. That's good. Patrick says Half-Life Alyx could have won Direction. Great on Quest 2. Ibster says, I'm happy to see Perfect Dark name back again, but I got the strange feeling that it's going to end up being in a Beyond Good and Evil 2 situation, revealed too early and not be seen again for years. I actually think the initiative is locked down pretty hard on this one. I think I think
they're also not having the fans make the game for them. So
yeah, we're not making the music or anything, and the initiative was put together for the sole purpose.
Dragonheart says, notice Advent Children references in Smash trailer. Yep. And it says, hey guys, are you guys hyped for Sephiroth? I believe people here are.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's all right, I guess.
Who even is that? Polly says, top 5 games from the PS4, Xbox One gen. Love Spawncast. It was quite the question.
What was it?
Top 5 games from PS4, Xbox One.
Can we just do top 1 game?
How about top game? Yeah, how about that?
God of War.
God of War's a good one. Yep, I would go with God of War.
Oh God.
I'll stick with Persona 5 Royal.
What? It is. Say God of War.
I would have to go with God of War 2, and I'm a huge Persona 5 fan, but God of War was perfection.
I'm still sick.
Persona 5 Royal gets you like 100-something hours of content. It's amazing.
100-something hours. Like,
No, don't do that to me.
I'm kidding.
You
Don't do that to my heart.
I wanted to upset chat.
No Persona.
Again, I got a call.
John says Sephiroth versus Link is a dream match. Sire Miller, which will come first, Bayonetta 3 or Halo? I'm gonna go with
Halo.
I think Halo. I think Halo.
Yeah. I love the hesitation. Everyone's like,
I don't know.
If Halo can follow through on the release that 343 came out with this week in fall 2021, I think Halo Infinite comes out first.
Nope.
OJ in denial.
OJ, you said Bayonetta 3 was coming out this year.
No, I didn't. I don't recall that.
343 drops 4 screenshots and everyone's like, oh yeah, the game's coming out.
You said Perfect Dark wasn't Perfect Dark. Shut up, Nate.
Where's the receipts? I just want to see the receipts.
Universe.
You said it was something else, so don't bring that up.
Hey, for the Perfect Dark universe. It's in the Perfect Dark universe.
You said it's not Perfect Dark. It's Joanna sitting there like, it's me, bitch. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey,
Oh my God.
I don't see 3 Bayonettas in 2020 yet. I haven't even seen 3 screenshots.
Okay.
True.
Omega says I was waiting for
I got
good
2.
gaming news, and
That hurt
Sephiroth
me.
is one of them. Haven't been on for a while. I'm glad to see all of you and have a happy holidays. This is from Chase.
Happy holidays.
You as well, Chase.
Patrick says Rich of Review Tech USA wants to shave your chest hair for you. I probably brought that on
course he
myself
does.
somehow. Jared says, do you watch the Dice Awards? They gave Game of the Year to Untitled Goose Game last year. Respect. Bronze player says give up on Banjo John. Never. Shadow of Nexus says Funimation is coming to Switch. Is Netflix next?
Nope.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Nintendo and their streaming stuff is streamed on there. Still Alive says, any thoughts on the Capcom Arcade Stadium? We talked about that a little bit earlier. Demi Crow says, do you think Atlas will release a US demo for Persona 5 Strikers?
Yeah.
I think they do. Yes. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think they will.
That, didn't they? Or no?
Probably.
Or maybe I missed it. Okay.
I think they are
think
going
a demo,
to. Either
no.
way, I think it's coming out, maybe a month before the game releases or something. They'll drop it. Sarah, thank you all for an awesome Spawncast show this weekend. Also, Cowboy Bebop. That's a good one, too.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's classic.
Bronze player, Ski Sniper Game Pass 2021. I mean, you got to save that to close out at E3. What if that comes back, right? Wario Man says, "Love you all on the cast. Question: do you think Perfect Dark will be a full game that comes out, or an episodic game like some leaks said? I think it's a full game.
Full game.
Definitely the full game.
I'm pretty sure all the early information was just based on a prototype idea that they were concepting.
Yeah. Sylvia says, off topic, I'm excited for Wild Rift on the Switch. And Juice Man Von, so are we ignoring that fraudulent Mass Effect announcement at the Game Awards? Kind of, because all they said was it's not dead.
Liara's back, so that's cool. So
it was still like, hey, it'll continue. And it's like, yeah, they already told us that. They're just basically like, we didn't kill Mass Effect, don't worry.
It looks like she's searching for Shepard. So
yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping to find more about maybe at EA Play next year. So
we got to watch that.
Greg Miller will tell us.
Omega says, congrats, Omni, on your first podcast. Honest thoughts on Toon Link and Ultimate. Thank you and keep being awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thoughts on who? On Toon Link?
Toon Link.
Oh, I think he's cute. He's a cute little character. I like how they designed him. I don't like playing him online with super lag. So, he's a runaway character with those bombs, but cute character. So I guess I would just leave it at that, basically. I would never want to play a Toon Link, though. But I would like to use Toon Link, so. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I appreciate it. I have no friends, by the way. I just want to say that. So 2020 has been like I haven't seen anyone. I haven't interacted with humans much, and I'm too shy to kind of like reach out to people. So I just want to say, like, Spawn, thanks for like hitting me up, because like I wouldn't come out to stuff like this if someone didn't invite me. So I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah. Well, I told you it was gonna be a 2-hour podcast, so now I feel like a jerk.
No, I'm totally fine. I could do this all night. This is so chill and relaxed. So I'm pretty happy.
And Hidden Gem Gamers, I'm a fan of Ravensoft. I bought BOCW. Am I missing that one? Just support them. Their last game was Black Ops Cold War, but the last game was Singularity. Thoughts on them making anything other than COD again? I mean, I'd like to see them try something different, but Activision has them locked in as a sports studio basically now. So Demi Crow says Cyberpunk 2077 Cloud Edition for Switch. I hate to say it, it would probably run better than the Xbox One version.
That would be an announcement. That would be an announcement.
It would be an announcement.
How weird would that be, though, if everyone's like, "Wow, Cyberpunk, the best versions on the Switch of these like the PS4 and the Xbox One." How weird would that be?
Bring it on.
Let's go over to OJ. Where can they find you, man?
You can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. OJ, I got a lot of cool content coming up. We're going to be talking about some good stuff, more Sephiroth, going into that. I'm going to be having some live streams. I live stream daily. And we had a pretty cool discussion I had with Triforce about Smash Brothers, what happened back in 2013.
Oh, wow.
How he got that fixed for Nintendo because of all the free Melee stuff. So if you're into stuff like that, it'll be up on the channel.
That's super cool. You got Triforce? That's super cool. That's OG.
Yeah, we got Triforce. And we got West, too. You got
West, too? West, my boy West?
It'll be up on Sunday, so you guys can check that out. It was a really good conversation, too, like OGs when it comes to, Smash Brothers and
I definitely
stuff.
Gotta watch that. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be, it's on the channel. Sorry, it's going up on Sunday for that. I have to cut it out of my normal live stream. But yeah, and like I said, I live stream daily, and I'll have Nintendo RPG stuff like that all up on the channel this week. So yeah, check it out.
Liam says, while the awards were boring, too spaced out, and while maybe not rigged, at least poorly chosen, we saw the revival of Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Perfect Dark, and Ghosts and Goblins, as well as Sephiroth and Smash. It's no next-gen Xbox, but I'll take it. There you go. Xavier says, you guys have the best guests. Now you just need to get Arlo and Yongya.
Yeah, totally.
Arlo.
Yeah. I've talked to Arlo, and I should see what's going on with Yongya. See if he'd be interested in coming by.
Mm-hmm.
Shinru says, hey guys, Cyberpunk sounds like interesting, but I'll wait till I get a PS5 next year. Hopefully, the Scalpers will be out. I asked OJ if the next Smash Bros to be maybe by Arc System next time. It was a joke, honestly, but what's everyone thinking about that happening? I don't even know what you do after this Smash Bros. I mean, just continue this one on, really.
Just continue releasing stuff. Honestly,
start over with 8 characters, so you can make more money all over again.
Okay,
no.
then get Arc System Works to do that. Then if you're supposed to start over with 8 characters, they can do that.
I'm just saying that's what they're probably going to do. That's what they're probably going to do.
Just add on, make a live service kind of stuff.
Gold Cookie says, Merry Christmas, love to all. And Shamsa came in with the big $100 donation. But we do know Shamsa had a debut, right, Nate?
She did have a debut. She was on the last episode of Nate the Hate with MVG, myself, and Jeffrey Grubb to talk about the Game Award. She gave some very good predictions. She called that there would be a Smash Brothers reveal at the Game Awards. So if you want to hear,
she called it.
She did call it. So if you want to hear Shamsa's takes and some opinions on the Game Awards after the fact, you can listen to it on Nate the Hate right now.
I said Breath of the Wild too. I said Breath of the Wild too, and Nate said Silent Hill, so we both messed up there pretty badly.
Well, I said Breath of the Wild 2 wouldn't be there, and you said Silent Hill wouldn't be there, so we evened out.
Yes. Well, check out that last podcast with Nate and Shamsa. It was good. It was a good podcast. So, and a big shout out to Shamsa, of course. I think that's everything though. We're good here. Jordan's not here. Go check out Jordan Fringe somewhere. He's on Twitter. He's on Twitter and Twitch. All right, go check out Jordan Fringe.
Jordan Fringe.
I got everyone. Evan, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
Just follow me.
LAN party.
Yeah, I'm at a LAN party, but follow me on Twitter at Kimmerix Project if I'm streaming or anything, which hopefully starts up next week again.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. I'll be there.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
See you guys.